Hello, everybody. You guys hear me loud and clear. And also, I have a little bit of something to talk about real quick. You might hear some noise in the background right now.
Are you planting a bomb?
Listen, it's a long story, man. There's a lot to go through, and I don't know if I have the time in 2 hours to explain everything that's about to happen, but I
The
just
red
wanted
wire,
to.
KG. It's the red wire.
Listen, man, don't put me under stress. I've been here for 4 hours, okay? It
That's
sucks.
a lot of time to rig a bomb.
I know, man. In one word, sus. And there you go. But nah, so ladies and gents, welcome to an interesting session of the pod. We got, as you can already tell by the voices here, we got Polly, aka Age of Trades, and of course our buddy JPR as well. So I know this might sound weird, but I'm gonna really need you two to help me in this one at the beginning because I think I'm gonna be mute for just a couple of minutes to make sure this ticking time bomb doesn't actually nuke me and also the stream as well. Because if that thing goes kablooey, this stream also will go down with it, and I don't kind of want that right now. So I
Oh
really
man,
would
I
love
didn't
your
know I was
help.
gonna have to play improv tonight.
Hey, listen.
Oh,
Holly, you
that's
got something to talk
entertaining.
about?
This is an
Uh,
interesting group.
I know, right? It's such an interesting trio. Where's TSS? Where's Tyrone at? It's interesting that they're not. Oh wait.
ESS is on
Very soft.
vacation, I thought. So.
Yeah, he is.
Comfortable?
Although he did say he was intending to join us, though.
Oh well, I mean, some vacation. Man never stops working.
I know, right?
Hello, Donnie. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Hey, that is
Oh.
what an imposter would say. Haha, it's a joke because of the episode we're reviewing tonight. Ha,
You're killing me, SpongeBob.
you really are.
I know. Let's just quote SpongeBob. Dude.
Is KG already gone?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Okay, I was about to say.
I can hear you guys, so no silly things.
We have to come up with 57 minutes of content here. I was about to say, KG better give us like a better lead in than that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Well-
man. I told you I'm put under pressure here.
well, congrats for finally being part of our group chat. That we didn't add you until.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You
Not that I
want to
knew anything
clarify
about
because
it.
now that you brought it up to the whole world, you might want to explain the deets. What's going
Yeah,
on
now
there?
we gotta add everybody. Jeez, thanks, Polly.
No, I was just funny.
Although everybody in chat is saying congrats on your graduation thing, though. Which, by the
Thank
way,
you.
sincerely though, congrats on that, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so very much. It was a rough and not so normal 4 years, but it's great to finally have that done, and I appreciate you all coming out tonight and giving me your congratulations. I definitely appreciate that. So
I do
who
have
knows
to
what's
ask, man.
ahead?
I
Yeah, well, go
really
ahead.
have to ask, like, how was it for the final year for you, man? I listen, with everything that's been going on within the world, I really am curious, like, how was
Okay,
the
so-
final year handled for you?
I guess I'm more of an introverted personality, so like staying inside in my basement taking online classes isn't the worst thing in the world for me. There's a lot less presentations and papers, and I'm cool with that personally. But it's a weird mix. It's a weird mix because like the online classes I wouldn't say were as hard for me personally, but they were definitely way more boring and tedious. It felt like there was a lot of busy work, I would say. I don't envy anyone who had to take online classes in this last year and a half because man, was that like the most mixed bag you could get right there. So it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst, but I can understand how some people would definitely be struggling with it. And if you are struggling with it, then just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there who had problems with it. So yeah, it was an interesting year to say the least.
Well,
glad
I am
you got
glad to
through it.
see. Yeah, that's the most important part. You somehow blazed right through it all, and you came out on top, buddy. Congrats.
Hey, I
again.
got my upload schedule together. That's the most important
Yeah, how
thing.
did you do that with all this shit?
Well, it was hard to like actually record stuff on campus because like I'm at the whims of the library and reservations and getting all the recording equipment down, and sometimes I just can't do that. And I can't record in my dorm rooms either because I have roommates and stuff like that and thin walls, so like it's not gonna work in there. So when I came home for that extended spring break, quote unquote, last year, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring all of my own stuff with me, and we're just gonna crank out videos every week and hope it works. So yeah, it actually ended up being a good thing for me. But anyhow, enough about me. We have a new challenger in the call, Mr. TSS, who's on vacation. How are you doing, buddy?
Welcome to the shit mic. How you guys doing?
Oh my god, it's been a long time since we've heard that in a pod.
He doesn't sound underwater. He just sounds like he's like a little puddle or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm imagining you in like a Hawaiian shirt and like a lei around your neck.
Well, actually, I'm wearing the Pikachu, Pichu, and Raichu Matroska shirt from I think Riptee. I think that's the one.
I'm gonna need to go look that up just to get clarification and get an idea as to what the hell that design is.
Now let's get a picture of TSS's shirt on stream.
Well, that implies if I find it though, I need to go look for it because I have no idea where this is at.
TSS's shirt. I've always loved TSS's shirt.
Yeah. Well, I also have How to Train Your Pokemon Dragon, which is like Toothless and Charizard and like Satoshi and.
That actually sounds. Well, first of all, buddy, I hope your vacay has been going very well for you. I think that's the most important question to ask. Has it been going well?
Yeah, it has been. Just basically chilling out, playing games. Went to like freaking Waffle House, Chili's. Went to a couple of thrift stores. So pretty much having a great chill time, and going home. I'm gonna be home tomorrow night, so I'm really excited. But finally, after like a year and a half, I get a freaking vacation, and it's really freaking worth it for me. Finally, to unwind and not have to deal with garbage all the damn time. So,
Yeah,
well, I
to be
would
able
say
to,
welcome
like,
to the. Yeah, well, I would say that welcome to the Eastern Time Zone, but you were already here to begin with. So I'll just say welcome to the land where the air is made of hot soup in the summertime.
well, yeah, I know because I've been to Florida like freaking 15 times. I know.
Oh. So he knows he's a veteran.
He has that soup in him, man. He's actually
don't
that
gotta
soup.
worry about it.
Thank you for the belated birthday wishes. Had a great time. There's actually a local pizza place here in Tampa that actually makes like a 7.8 pizza in my opinion. So they actually got it pretty much down packed. Pretty much like the water. Aside from the water, it tastes authentic. So really happy about that. So yeah.
That's good.
I do have to ask though, what's your highest rated pizza?
That would be Sally's, the tomato pie, no cheese, with Parmesan cheese, but not mozzarella. I gave that like a 9.4, 9.5, which is in New Haven, Connecticut. So, I gave when I was in Trenton when I was in Trenton like last summer. When I was in Trenton last summer,
Sorry.
I went to Papa's tomato pies, and that gets a 9.1. So that's
I got so
pretty
scared
high.
because when you said Papa, the next thing I thought was John's, and I was like,
Papa John.
what kind of pizza in Papa
pizza
John's
right
gives
there.
a 9?
No. The only thing Papa John's is worth for is to take the box, take Papa John, and turn it into Elton John. That's the only worth in the value of that pizza box.
TSS has had 40 pizzas in 40 days.
Why do you check out that place in Trenton?
Yeah.
One day when we can all be free and travel around the globe, then maybe so, right?
Yeah, but apparently, like, there's another one. There's another one that's supposed to be higher rated. Probably could go on like the One Bite and look on Dave's videos. I know there's the one that he gave a place down there like 9.2, and I want to try that. That's in Robbinsville, so
Sounds like a journey, man.
yeah.
But-
Also, apparently, I found that there's a Waffle House in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But do I really want to have somebody drive like 80 minutes to go there? Probably not.
Yeah, hold up. Let me check how much it costs real quick, and then maybe we can decide from there. Because listen, I want to try these Waffle Houses. Damn it!
Oh, dude, the pecan waffle with the blueberry nougat. Mwah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
Waffle
we can-
House not like a normal thing up there?
Nope.
I was about to say,
No.
I could drive like 5 minutes in any direction and find a Waffle House.
Hey, you want to
Yes,
come
I
pick
know.
us up and then drag us to a Waffle House, buddy? Because
Like I said, the laws-
unless we
Yeah, way
travel
better
out, I
places
ain't never
to
getting
go
a Waffle
on.
House.
The closest one is, like I said, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is like fucking 80 miles from my house.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, that's a treat.
Man, everyone around here, we just say, hey, if you're high at 3 a.m., go to the Waffle House and get iced out. 'cause
Okay.
It's always freezing in there.
I have a very important question to ask, though.
All right.
Is the house actually made out of waffles?
Regrettably, no.
Shit.
But yeah, but they do have interesting decor. You know, it makes you feel waffle enough.
Okay, I'll take your word on that. But that all depends if I ever get a chance to visit Waffle House myself. Eventually,
I've
we'll
been
figure
there.
that out.
A few times.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah, but not in New Jersey and like where I've been in the South.
We're talking about globetrotting. I feel like this is gonna be like a Pokemon Journeys episode where there's like, hey, let's go to Waffle House.
And we're just
Yeah.
Get your
automatically in a
plane
plane, yeah? Ah, thank you, Sakuragi. What?
Yeah, the sad part is the cost of the flight to Florida is actually less than the cost of probably taking a bus to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's kind of stupid. But yeah, that's what it is.
Well,
Will DoorDash offer me a Waffle House as option? Let's take a look. I'm just saying, man, I really want a Waffle House.
I don't know. I'm actually craving.
I like that comment. Waffle House is so common in the South that it's used as a way to measure the severity of natural disasters. That is definitely true.
Who the hell said that?
Mr. Thunder God Cairo 770. Probably mispronounced that, but yeah.
They will ask if you want haze brown. What's a haze brown?
Hash brown. Hash brown.
Hash
no.
brown. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is though, the greatest part is the other day at Waffle House I spent $16.66. Those are nice numbers.
Uh-oh. That used to be what a cookout tray cost, but then they upped it by $1, and now I'm mad. Ugh. Cookout's another thing y'all don't have up there. That's like a North Carolina, South Carolina mostly thing, but I think it extends a little further south now.
But do you have a Wawa?
Wawa? No, we don't have Wawas around here.
Exactly.
In
Best
Florida, they have Wawa because it's Wawa.
Yeah.
Apparently, I found this place. It's called the Brooklyn Waffle House.
Also, Whataburger, people talk about Whataburger and like In-N-Out. Like, these are places that like are nowhere near me, so I don't know anything about that.
Hopefully, I'll be able to try In-N-Out soon. In a few days.
Yeah, because she's going to California.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? There's a Brooklyn Waffle House?
Yeah, but that's not the same.
God damn it, they lied to me already. Okay, here we go. I found one. Wait, no, that's Doc's Waffle House in Soul Food. Brooklyn Wing House. Where I wrote Waffle House and they're giving me Shake Shack.
No, that's because Shake Shack. It's not the same.
Hey, look, I found one. It's called Huddle House.
Huddle.
Huddle House.
Everybody huddle up.
Everyone huddle up. We're going to Waffle
Number
House. Tyrone, you're
5.
driving us, buddy.
All right.
Tyrone, do you have an In-N-Out near you or Whataburger?
I have neither, and I want them because I've had Whataburger before. And it's
Okay,
really
I've
good.
had neither. Like, what is the specialty chain of your area? Like, for me, it's like Cookout and Bojangles, and we were just talking about that, and
From
Waffle
what-
House, apparently.
From what I'm seeing, it seems like it's White Castle. That's weird.
White
and
Castle.
they're
Okay,
all-
haven't heard of that one. Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I think White Castle's like the. Have you heard of Crystals?
Nope.
Okay, so it's basically like White Castle's sliders. They serve slider burgers with like a crap ton of onions that are really just chopped up cabbage, but everyone just calls them onions because it's easier.
Yeah, even Ebo thinks Crystal is bad. Thank you.
Yeah, Crystal is bad.
bad.
Yes, Crystal is canonically bad.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ebo,
because-
Bojangles is fire, man. I don't know which one you went to, but Bojangles, they got it
Never
going
been
on.
to Bojangles.
I always get those extra tenders in the box, so I might be biased, but you know.
Oops. No, my laptop.
Crystal. Yeah, Crystal with a K. That's the thing. The funny
Yeah.
thing is, it's like Crystals is a direct imitation of White Castle because I read the freaking wiki on that and it's like, yep, that's why it tastes like shit because the imitation is not as good as the original.
We have Surf Taco. That's a big chain here.
Fuck you.
Really
That's
bad.
kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I've never had it. I'm sure it's probably good.
And Pliables, which is like
TSS.
the acai bowl.
I found us a good option. It only cost us $375. We're planning this Waffle House time eventually.
God.
You can take an Uber to Waffle House 80.
I love that Waffle House is like taking the precedence of breakfast diner because it really like on its surface, Waffle House technically isn't anything special. It's literally just a diner. It's literally just a small ass fucking diner
With waffles.
with waffles in it. But I think Waffle House, like the reason that it's so popular is because it's not trying too hard to be popular. It's not trying to be this extravagant fucking international house of waffles that occasionally sells fucking burgers and has a chocolate ultimate souffle waffle or some shit. It
No,
doesn't have
IHOP is not better than Waffle House. Get the fuck out.
yeah, it doesn't have like a strawberry shortcake gushed filled cheesecake ass waffle. It's literally just some tired ass 40-year-old woman with a cigarette in her mouth going, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I want waffles." And she gives you
You go there when you're hungover or high or like anything in between, you know.
But you cannot forget. Have a blessed day. Can't forget that either.
I think the appeal of Waffle House is that it's the last sense of like simplism in a world filled with marketing.
Listen,
true.
man, according to
And
my
there's
things
some
to
truth
do
to
before
that.
I go out of this planet, visiting
Oh.
Waffle House is in that list,
Honey,
right? And I gotta-
Denny's. Okay, hang on. Nobody goes to Denny's. People
No
just
one
wind
goes
up
to
at
Denny's.
Denny's. Like
People just-
Denny's is like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to eat today, and somebody just throws it out.
No,
People
Denny's
only
is
go to
good in
Denny's to
Japan.
get some
Denny's-
tig bitty waifu
John-
golf girls, man.
Denny's
John
is
is
good in Japan. Denny's is shit here.
John is absolutely right. No one goes to Denny's.
Nobody
Denny's-
willingly goes to Denny's. They just like think of it on the way to something else, and they go, "Oh yeah, I could go for some Denny's."
No one
I
goes
don't
to
know.
Denny's. No one goes to Denny's. Denny's is that restaurant we use in order to make a ploy if the aliens are like, I wonder where the humans go to eat breakfast. Like that.
Yeah, you know where I would go to eat breakfast? I go to a fucking bodega, bacon, egg, and cheese, motherfucker. That's what we get on a roll.
You know what
Good old
franchise
350
I'm, like,
sandwich.
I'm like
You know what happens when you
surprised.
go inside of a Denny's? All the cardboard
Jersey
falls
thing.
down. Like,
You know what, Shane? I'm surprised is like international, like more international than I thought.
what?
KFC apparently. Like I thought KFC was gonna be like one of those ones that's, like super enclosed to like southeastern United States.
City
Apparently
made.
it's everywhere.
It's even in China.
It's even in Japan.
It's like, do they even know what Kentucky is over there?
I didn't know that. Well, I know that.
Kentucky.
I know that Ben likes it.
There is no way the entire state of Kentucky fried all that chicken.
Also,
Think, Mark,
thank God,
think.
thank God Ben doesn't do that ridiculous. Oh, I'm gonna eat a KFC for every 1,000 subs, man.
I love that.
This poor
meme.
man would have been dead by now.
There's no way the entire state of Kentucky fried all that chicken. Think,
Yeah,
Mark.
and KFC is better in Japan anyway. So
Well, it's funny because
Everything's
DJ
better in
says that
Japan.
DJ says that Canes is big in the where he's
Wait,
from.
what? Rising Cane's?
Canes,
Oh,
Like
just
the-
Cane's?
fast food
I've
place.
never been to Cane's. I've heard of
Well,
it.
we have a chicken strip place called Rising Cane, which is literally just like it
Oh,
serves
Raising
chicken
Cane's, yeah.
strips. Yeah, it's literally just her serves chicken strips. That's it. That's all it sells is fucking chicken strips. It's just
Well,
chicken.
apparently it's good.
Oops, all chicken strips. Like the fuck.
yeah, but I'll close it with this. I have never had a better waffle in my life than Waffle House.
Yeah, we're spending that
with love.
$375. God damn it! Also, I just realized that would only for one trip, though. I don't know how much. Oh, it's gonna cost $375 back,
So
isn't
for
it?
everyone in the chat saying KFC is trash, y'all have not had the right KFC. I don't know where
Oh
you're eating
no! See, John, here's the deal. KFC was better back then. That's the problem.
at. People say that about Saturday Night Live. Don't say that about KFC.
Are you implying
The only-
Saturday
the
Night
only-
Live
the only-
currently is good?
The
No,
only good
it's not.
KFC The only
I'm
good
saying
KFC
don't lump KFC in with that same analogy.
the only good
Say, oh,
KFC
Sonic
I
the
had.
Hedgehog was good.
The only good KFC I had was about 6.5 years ago when I went to PokeCon in freaking Louisville, and they had the freaking all you can eat buffet with the giant ass fucking chicken breasts for like $8.
I ain't
That
never
was the
gonna have
best
KFC, so
That was the best shit. But normal KFC like in the Northeast, fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, Zaxby's coming up now. Zaxby's pretty good. Zaxby's pretty
what's a
good.
Zaxby's?
I haven't had Zaxby's enough, so I don't know.
That's like another chicken place. Another chicken place.
I
Ah.
don't think we have that here.
Oh yeah. I remember Terrell talked about Zaxby's.
Yeah, it's like I've never had it myself, so it's
Southern
another.
United States has more than. Okay, yeah, that's us.
No, we ain't getting Zaxby's. I would have heard of it.
Yeah.
Food.
Yes.
I know y'all got
What-
Popeyes up there actually, because I remember.
I
going
love
there.
Popeyes.
My
I've
last
never had
trip.
Popeyes.
Oh my god,
though.
Popeyes
Wait,
is
Pop-
amazing.
All right,
Hold up,
okay.
hold
When
up,
like the
whoa,
chicken
whoa.
sandwich wars were going on like a year or so ago, like
Oh,
I
the
was
chicken
like,
sandwich
I was
wars.
like, man, I don't get all the hype, right? I was like, it can't be all that. And then I had the chicken sandwich from Popeyes, and I was like,
And
all right,
saw God.
I can see why people are killing each other for this now. Like, it's actually that good.
Lumio's
John-
trainer, Zaxby's. Thank you, Donnie.
John justifies murder by eating a chicken sandwich.
He ascended in that moment, man.
Wait. Denny's better than Popeyes. You have no taste buds, my friend.
Wait. Why are those two things being compared? They're completely
Yeah,
different.
those are like way different.
Nah,
Way
they're
way
similar.
No, they ain't.
Yeah, they are. They're food.
Shut up, KG.
Okay.
Oh
No,
my
I messed
god.
with the Denny's milkshakes though, but that's about it. I don't know. I don't know what else I go to Denny's for.
I didn't even know Denny's.
is nice. That's about it.
I don't even think about Denny's like that. I always can stop and look and go, "Oh shit, that's there. That's right. That exists."
I've only been to one in Indiana.
And then I know people. What's the other one? There's Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel.
Oh, I like
Cracker
Cracker
Barrel,
Barrel.
where all my white
Barrel's
friends go
really
to
good.
eat. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody out here talking about chicken as well, and nobody ever brought up El Pollo Loco. Has anybody never had that?
No, I've heard of the Pollo Locos. I just don't go
Boring
there.
to me.
It probably is. I never had it myself. I just only know of the name.
Yeah, the name. I think they're mostly in the West, right?
Well, according to the map I
Yeah,
see here, they
it-
seem to be everywhere. But
Well,
they're more
yeah, but
common
they're
here
mostly
in
the West. Yeah.
Cracker
Does
Barrel.
anyone
Cracker
here
Barrel is
actually
good,
like Hardee's / Carl's Jr.? No, nobody likes Hardee's.
My
Like-
stomach decided when I turned a certain age, it wasn't going to eat Hardee's anymore. It was like
even
no,
before eating Hardee's.
No, Hardee's
No,
can come
no,
up with
I
some
ate-
fire chicken tenders, but that's the extent of it. Like if I want
I
a
ate-
burger, I'm going literally anywhere. I'll go to Burger King before I go to Hardee's for a burger. Like come
I
on.
ate Hardee's. Well, I ate Hardee's when I was younger, and then suddenly I turned like I think once I turned into an adult, my stomach was like, yeah, fuck Hardee's. We're not doing that no more.
Do we
So-
have Sonic in New York? Yes, we do. The thing is, they only have it. They have it in like freaking Lynbrook, which is like Sunrise Highway. That's about it. They had a very first Sonic's drive-in that was not a drive-in in Flushing, but they closed that down because of the pandemic.
Haha, I have one in my town.
You know, in our luck, some Hardee's representative is probably like emailing KG right now saying like we'd like to sponsor the PokePod. Now they're going like backspace.
So anyway, I love Hardee's.
my sponsorship, come back.
Oh, the funny thing is they actually had a Carl's Jr. like right across from Madison Square Garden for like one summer back in like 2018, and then they closed 6 months later because let's see, nobody gives a fuck about Carl's Jr.
That's
I
fun.
think I
Imagine,
remember. That's when I went
feel
to the
bad for
Elton
anybody
John
named
concert.
Carl's.
yeah, imagine working like starting your day at work, and then 6 months later, all right, pack it up, get the fuck out.
That's pretty much what
Well,
it was.
actually, that did happen in one store we had over here in Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was the place again? TS is the one you brought up where it was like only open for like 5 months and then the pandemic came and just knocked that shit out?
That was Carl's Jr.
That was Carl. Okay, so just to make
Oh damn.
Yeah. And
it
that
all
was the
comes-
only chance I ever had of getting a Carl's Jr. Welp, that ain't happening. But
Is
nah,
there like a big difference between Carl's Jr. and Hardee's? Like
No,
No.
it's just a name change.
it's the same
It's just-
thing.
It's just like
Yeah.
rallies and checkers.
What's the point? What?
Because
Uh,
certain places call it certain things.
yeah,
don't get
I
it.
don't. I don't understand. It's
I
I
like
wouldn't
trip
tell
and trip.
myself.
You know.
I think because the original owner of Hardy's name was Carl Jr. And then he wound up like I think had a son or some shit. I don't know. I can't remember the history.
Speaking of
Also-
speaking of Chili's baby back ribs, I actually had that today.
I haven't had Chili's in so long.
Me too. Yeah.
Somebody said it was
Uh,
Brothers.
Maybe a Shake Shack. That's another one.
See, we don't have Shake Shack, but we have Steak and Shake. That's a pretty
Oh.
good one.
Yeah, we have steak and shake.
It's
My
okay.
problem with
Steak and shake?
are-
It's okay.
I'll go for some Steak and Shake. That's a good one.
I'm just
Yeah.
writing down all these notes just to make sure I keep it in mind whenever we all meet
A
up
Shell
eventually.
Shack.
The funny thing is actually I haven't been to a Steak and Shake in like 16 years.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to find.
Yeah,
Really?
because it's like because the only one I remember going to is like near Daytona. That was it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
How is nobody talking about the one and only Sabaros, man?
Fuck that
Sbarro.
KG, what planet are you eating
can't.
food?
Hey,
I've
hey,
never heard
hey.
of it.
In KG's defense, we had to live off Sbarros for a little bit.
You missed out on the Sabaros binge, John.
I guess I did.
No, you
Look,
fucked
we
up.
breathed
Sbarros.
in
DC
Sabaros,
story.
man.
we were stuck in Washington D.C.'s hotel, and Sbarros was our only food source.
Until we realized, oh shit, there's more stuff at the last day. And discovered a
Okay,
Popeyes like a
so-
few blocks after.
We've set the
Because
story.
Steak and
several-
Shake is oh, Ayan, leave. What are you doing here?
You knew Ion was gonna say some shit like that.
I knew Ayan. You know what? We should have told Ayan the stream was happening tonight.
Well, I actually put it in the
You
plug.
and the server
Wait,
is able to
hold
do
on.
it.
We
I
shouldn't
hope
have
not.
told Ion about the PokePod, the thing that shows up every fucking Monday at 9 p.m. Central.
I changed the schedule. Tyrone is on Tuesdays now. Don't tell Ayan.
We're changing an entire
Oh,
6-year
now-
show.
now you're part of that. You're part of the group chat.
We're
I'm sorry.
changing-
I'm gonna let that go.
We're changing an entire yearly thing that we've been doing for 5 years straight because Ion wants to fuck it up by saying Steak and Shake is bad.
Oh, of course, man.
So we told the story several times, but we'll tell it again.
It's
So
always
we were,
it gets funnier every time, man.
yeah, so we were in Washington D.C. and we were at the hotel, and we were there because we were going to PokePod.
Oh
Pokemon
yeah, we were having
World.
our press conference go on there, man.
Yeah, our PokePod press conference in Washington D.C. But no, we were there, and when we were there, there's the hotel, and in walking distance is Sbarro's. And despite Polly, we all just kept going to Sbarro's every fucking time.
Because I have taste.
And then Polly
Are
just
you? Apparently not.
Well, if you were there, you wouldn't have gone either. I know you. You're too bougie with food.
Well, it doesn't matter. I got to touch Japanese floof. That was better.
Yeah, he got to actually feel the floof. Meanwhile, we had to live off $5 spaghetti.
Now listen, we had a day where we went out to go eat. We all went our separate directions to go eat. And I left Polly for some reason. She's like, bye.
Well, I got
didn't
some nice tacos.
I didn't even mean to do I like something caught my interest and I was like, I want to go to this Japanese restaurant real fast. So I went a completely different direction and everybody came out back with like Japanese, Chinese food, what did you get, Polly, again?
DJ and I got tacos.
Yeah, you guys got tacos. And then fucking KG's bitch ass comes back with Popeyes. And I'm like, where'd you find the Popeyes? And he's like, nobody said anything. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Man, I would get one with KG to Popeyes, like low key.
Hey, I thought he and Nessa got like Chinese food or something.
No, we got Mexican food, but that was the
Oh
day
yeah, you got
before that
Mexican
day.
food. The day before that, you got fucking
Oh,
Popeyes.
okay.
And I was ready to kill you because you didn't fucking say anything. And we looked at the GPS and we didn't see Popeyes nearby at all. So he found this hidden Popeyes in Washington, D.C. Fucking bastard.
Meanwhile, I'm over here just eating it in the corner, and everyone's just giving me that glare. I'm like, shit, man.
See, last time I was in DC, I wasn't with the rest of the people in the PokePod for context, but last time I was up there for, I think it was SmashCon, there was a Five Guys across the street. Now, me and my friends like, oh, we gotta go get some Five Guys, right? I'm sitting there, I had to like put extra money on my debit card before, like in the middle of the line. I'm like, bro, I can see I only come here like once a year. The Five Guys is really good, but man, that is the easiest way to make your wallet lighter.
But it's so worth it for that one
Oh,
moment.
yeah.
Five Guys really did come and steal your money at that moment, man.
It's true.
But seriously,
Yeah.
though, their burgers are good for that moment.
So
They could spit in my face and rip the extra $20 out of my wallet, and I'd still go eat their burgers.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if I do that with Five Guys, man. That's for sure.
Five Guys is too damn expensive. That's what that problem is.
I know.
But
Like,
their fries
it
are
has to
good.
be a special occasion to go to Five Guys.
I want a burger and fries. You said you want a burger? That's $25.
Okay, wait. The first and last time I went to Five Guys, I was dressed as Kirishima because we went on Halloween.
Oh no, you gotta get out with that weeb shit.
This is Five
And they're-
Guys, not Weeb Guys, man.
No, they were really, really nice. They're like, oh, like, what are you guys dressed up? My friend at least was Bakugo, so Oh, wait, what?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
I heard.
Oh,
Oh, hey,
something.
look, I have noise suppression on. Is that good?
But like yeah, just it's so funny that like first of all, I have no why is Five Guys so fucking expensive? Like they taste good, but not
It's
good
because
enough.
they know. They know, Tyrone.
They don't taste good enough to be that price. I'm sorry.
How did
like,
they
they're
know
good.
at day one, though, is what I want to know.
Exactly.
They know. They know. Like they know that they have hype on their side.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's the only thing they need is they just need hype on their side, and they're like, okay, this is a $20 burger now.
Is that what
I
you're
didn't
just
even-
doing right now?
Right. I didn't even know Five Guys served other shit, and I'm afraid to order it because I'll go bankrupt or something.
5 men burger and friends keep the party going till the
5
party
men
ends.
burger.
It can't be as bad as like in Midtown, near freaking Nintendo World. There's a thing called let's see, the original halal guy, like the original halal guys, or the halal, and then the halal brothers, and it's like then you have like freaking imitations and crap. So it's like the real halal guys. Then you have the original halal boys. They
What?
4 brothers halal. This is just random carts that are on like freaking 6th Avenue, like between 45th and 53rd.
Also, somebody said about Red Robin. I also forgot about that.
Okay,
That's the only
Red
good
Robin.
thing it has. The song.
Red Robin bottomless sides are cap. Let me tell you why. Because after like an hour of you just sitting there, they just stop coming out to refill your sides. You know, they might come back and they'll be like, "Oh, would you like some more fries, sir?" Why, yes, I would like some more fries. It's bottomless sides. They bring like 3 more fries back out, like they scraped off the bottom of the fryer, and then they just don't come back for the next 2 hours.
Hey, the customer still wants fries. Oh yeah, fuck them.
These fryers.
And they just keep going on with their business.
Oh, I can't
It's only
believe
bottomless if you're willing to actually go back to the kitchen and say, "Hey, you forgot my fries."
Hey, fuck off. He just keeps making fries for other people.
the first and only time I went to Red Robin was when I saw The Force Awakens for the first
I
time.
can't remember when I went to Red Robin's.
I never
that
went
makes
to
me
one, so
sad.
there's my story for that.
Oh yeah. KG, how many that feels like there's a whole bunch of restaurants you just never been exposed to.
Let me see. I can name off the top of my head a lot of them: KFC, Taco Bell, Domino's, Little Caesars, Red Robin, Applebee's. I think is another one.
You never been to Apple?
Shake Shack. I finally learned of its existence in
You
Manhattan.
never been to Shake Shack? I've
Penn
been to Shake Shack.
Station. I went there the night we did karaoke.
I went to Penn
with
Station.
the-
They're pretty good.
And I set up while we were waiting, I set up I have keychains of like all the Poke Girls. So I got bored and I started setting them all up in the middle of the Penn Station. Shake Shack. I always
Speaking
have
of
a
Penn
story
Station, can
What?
we talk about like how overpriced like all the sub places are?
Yes.
Like, bro, Penn Station. We had one like on our campus at NC State, and they said, "Hey, if we beat UNC, that's like our rival school, right? They're like, if we beat UNC in basketball or whatever, you get free fries." Which, by the way, we don't beat UNC, but like once every 20 years. So
this is a very rare
Y'all did it for the fries?
we did one time, and by golly, I went up there and I got my free fries, and my order total came down from $18 to $16.
Do it for the fries.
No, man.
I was like, this is a little underwhelming for a once every 20-year occasion, you know?
Do it for the fries.
It was all for the fries, man. Nothing else.
That's their slogan. Do it for the fries.
Drayman won.
I want "do it for the
Basically.
fries" to be like a slogan on a bunch of random shit.
What, is Draymond one in the chat, Polly?
Do
It's,
it for
it's
the
like
fries.
between Penn Station and like
The rivalry.
what are some of the other ones? Jersey Mike's. It's like they are all expensive. They are all expensive. It's like, man, you putting like all these basic ingredients on a piece of bread. Like, you ain't slick. I see what you're doing back there.
Charlie's
Damn,
cheesesteak.
those fries. Hashtag do it for the price.
That's me. Yeah. It's trending. It's
Jersey
trending.
Mike's is really good.
Do it for the
Oh, okay, no Poke fan. Domino's is not allowed.
Whoa, wait, hang on. I know Domino's was trash back in the day, but hear me out. They have glowed up so hard. You have to give them credit. You got to give them credit where credit is due. Domino's has come a long, long way.
John, I
Domino's
realize
is-
today you're Italian.
I think Domino's is okay. It's nothing spectacular.
At least it
but
ain't
it's
no
cool.
Little Caesars.
I'll
It's
tell
not
you,
Little Caesars, hello?
I'll tell you
What?
something right now. Domino's 15 years ago was shit. And then they changed the formula and it actually was less shit. It was actually
Thank
edible
you.
food.
Now,
TSS is speaking my language here.
now then, what about Pizza Hut though?
No.
Pizza butt? Pizza butt? Are you kidding me? No,
Well,
everyone
to be fair, I never
out-pizzas
had
the
it, so
Hut.
I can't give an opinion. That's why.
Everyone out pizzas the Hut. I'll tell you that right now. The slogan's a lie. The slogan's a lie.
No, because you want to watch Spaceballs for the 50th time. Also, Pizza Hut was better in 1997 than it is now.
Why that year?
KG, remember that picture of Captain America holding the shield like he's about to slam it down on one of the
Yes,
Ultron
and they
robots?
replaced it with
They
this
replaced it
pizza.
with a pizza, and it's like when you try to out pizza the Hut.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And at Little Caesars, they ain't even got a slogan. They're just like, oh, it's hot and ready. But is it good though? It's
Do it for
hot
the fries.
and it's ready.
Yes, Costco pizza is good.
No
Oh
change.
shoot! Really now?
Yes, it
I'll take
is.
Costco pizza over like Walmart pizza. That cardboard stuff they just put on sale. Oh man.
Killing me. You're all killing me.
You don't tell me you like Walmart pizza.
No, nobody likes Walmart pizza.
Oh,
Yeah.
Walmart pizza's like you got $2 in your wallet and you just gotta eat something.
Yeah, because you want to watch Little Caesars cheese is oil because literally it's like orange. Like I don't want to eat that shit.
Polly, we know full well it's not gonna beat Italian pizza. We're just saying this because it's fast food. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, if you want like good pizza, you know where to go for.
You know
good
where to
pizza.
go,
Tomorrow.
right?
You're gonna go over to like Giovanni's or something. I don't know. Like,
Giovanni,
you gonna
exactly.
find some Italian
Oh,
name.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
that looks
yeah,
good.
Actually, you know what's funny? In my neighborhood, there was a Giovanni's restaurant that was open for they were like fucking 40 years, but their pizza was not good.
Giovanni's.
Okay,
Why
we're
not
gonna
pizza
strike
Hut?
Giovanni's off the list then. Let's find
When
a
I-
different Giuseppe's. If you go to Giuseppe's, you go and find some good pizza. But you know, if you go into like a Pizza Hut or a Papa John's, you gotta lower your expectations a little bit.
Welcome to Gisano's. How may I help you?
Welcome to the salty.
That's because people want to jizz on their pizza. What?
You know,
Oh,
you
Jesus
know
Christ, man!
You know our slogan: "Do it for the fries."
This is an interesting PokePod.
Yes.
Yes, man. No one outpods the PokePod.
Well, KG was telling us he was gonna like die in an explosion 40 minutes ago, and we just had to go wild with whatever we thought
Yeah,
about.
thank you guys for keeping it. I've been able to stay mute for like a majority of the time and actually managed to get the things done. And
Alrighty.
when I say done, I mean not really done. It's just more so further in progression. I'm not sure how things are going to turn out, but we'll see.
Okay.
But I
All
hope
right, well,
everybody
if you
else.
hear a big explosion and KG doesn't talk anymore, you know what happened. We're just gonna keep going though.
Wait! I thought the connection was fear.
Oh no.
Wow. So,
Well-
any news?
Is there any news that anything happened this week?
Any
Yes,
money?
there are a couple of news I do want to bring up.
All
Okay, by all means, go ahead.
It is a little sad, I will admit, but I think it's still something as a way to pay respect in some way, shape, or form. How many of you guys here read Berserk?
I know of the show. I watched the old version. Did not watch the new version because I don't like the way it looks.
One of my my old coworkers loved it. It was like his favorite series, and he kept saying you should watch
The
it.
new
You
one
should
or the
watch
old
it.
one?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I worked there in 2018, so maybe.
So he's
it was-
probably talking about the new one, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to explain why I brought this up, the creator of Berserk, and many might know this because it was trending for a while, Kentaro Miura unfortunately passed away last week at the age of 54 due to some complications in his body.
No, he actually passed away like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, He passed away. I think it was like May 6th or something like that. So
May
we didn't
6th,
even
yeah.
know about it until far, far later.
Yeah, actually, the same thing happened with Ishizuka when he died. We didn't know about it until like 1 or 2 weeks after the fact.
Yeah, I assume it's because they wanted to make sure privacy and all that is kept in place
Yeah.
for the folks, you know. And much respect and my prayers to the family of Miura's. You know, it's truly tragic to see how this all went down like this. But I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to pay respect in some way, shape, or form to, the legacy of Kentaro Miura because not many people notice, or maybe you might, but you have no idea how much of an influence his work has created into the industry as a whole, not just only for manga, but I mean, in general. I mean, if you guys are fans of Dark Souls, I mean, that literally is just taking the shape of Berserk and bringing it into a video game, you know?
Mm.
Or say Final Fantasy VII as well. I mean, have you not looked at the sword that our boy Cloud uses? I mean, that kind of there tells you exactly where that inspiration came from. But yeah, so many things you can look into the past and look into just how many references and lore that Berserk and Kentaro Miura has crafted into this world, and see it be shaped up in other franchises, other genres out there. It's truly incredible.
Mm.
But yeah, I just want to take a second to just talk a little bit about the legacy of Miura for a little bit, and just pay respects to mangaka who is beloved by many. And I know it's sad to see that we'll never get to end the ending of Berserk in the way that he had envisioned it. But I believe who was it, the co-assistant, I think it was, that mentioned that they will still continue on the legacy of Berserk even while he's still gone. So hopefully
The
we'll
funny,
get to see it all go in the right direction.
the interesting thing though is that another series that actually died before it was completed was Itazura na Kiss. That was about 12. It was about 12 anime from like 12 years ago, manga from like 12, 13 years ago, and yeah, because she died. The mangaka died like just before the end. So people had actually, like, for the anime, they had to actually write a new ending
For
because
which
the original
series?
Itazura na Kiss. The original
Itazura. Let me
yeah,
see.
Itazura na Kiss. Because
Spudges.
yeah, because the mangaka died. She died like before the final volume was written.
Damn.
And
I know there
and
was a lot of other ones. Let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. But there was also another one, something about the high school, something like that. Let me see, High School of the Dead, was it?
Remember that show?
Yeah, I believe the creator had passed away, so they never managed to
Damn.
work any further onto that series, which is why it only got that one season, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It was like something no zero. I think it was. Let me see if I could find the name of.
was it of Skyma or what the hell was it?
Ah man, is trying to remember off the top of my head. It's like Tetu. No, what was it called?
Yeah. Okay, it is Zero, not Skyma. Yeah, I was
Yes,
right.
there we go. That is yeah. Okay, Zero no Sakama. Yeah, like literally before the ending, they had to create like an alternate anime exclusive sort of ending to try to wrap up the storyline that way. Because unfortunately, the person passed away as well. It truly is
Mhm.
tragic to see the creations that people envision never reach its full ending like they had hoped they would. But I'm at least very grateful for the work that they had already done, and the legacy that they've already given us during these years. It's something remarkable, and I hope this gives an opportunity for fans to at least check out some of the early works of Kentaro Miura as well, because you take a look into like the way the art style and just the art direction is in the manga series for Berserk, and honestly, it's on its own league, man. It's incredible. Even in early
Yeah.
chapters, like it's remarkable how much dedication and passion this man put into creating these. And I hope this also gives an opportunity for fans to maybe no longer joke around the whole hiatus ex hiatus thing that's happening now, because we really don't know the full context of certain mangakas or creators out there and why they've been away and probably in hiatus mode for a while. It's really something to just keep an eye on and think about, because honestly, nobody
Yeah.
knows at this point, man.
Like Togashi
Yeah.
is
Mm.
very sick.
Yeah, it really no one can really ever tell. I mean, none of us knew about Kentaro Miura's thing until after 2 weeks later into what had went down. So yeah, it just tells
And
you
it's
that.
got to be a stressful job too. I mean, that's a lot of work if you do it
Well,
all yourself.
to be fair, John, the Japanese work ethic is very stressful as it is.
Oh
It's
yeah,
overwork and everything like that.
Mhm.
Whether it's anime or games or anything for that matter. I mean, they
Yeah.
just
I mean,
kind of go to the next level.
Dogasu told me about tons of things. I remember actually talking to him at like freaking 5 in the morning his time because he had to wait for the train because he was stuck at work. So it was like, yeah, it's a very interesting, it's a very like stressful work ethic. Also, I knew somebody from like um where was he from? He was from Finland. He was actually on a 5-year visa to go to Japan, but then he left after like 6 months because he couldn't take the freaking toxic work environment. So yeah,
That's like
Yep.
Yeah, the industry needs to change, man. It really does.
well the whole Japanese work ethic needs to change. Now, I don't know if the Backstreet Boys is going to change it for good or whatever, but hopefully we'll get a better idea. Maybe they'll get a better understanding that maybe we shouldn't have our workers work like 18-hour, 20-hour days.
Indeed, man. So
A little more respect.
yeah, so once again, much respect to the mangaka. Thank you for your vision in Berserk and honestly creating one of the well, not him, but having being gifted one of the best songs in Berserk and like the OG one. There was one song in particular many people might be familiar with. Obviously, I won't play it for copyright purposes, but it's a damn shame for certain. But we shouldn't only be sad for the fact that he's gone, but rather pay respect and be happy for what he has contributed to the industry as a whole. Not just only for manga, but for games, for
Yeah.
entertainment as a whole. He really is, without a doubt, a legend. But let's get back into some of the more positive news now that we got this out of the way. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about gaming news. I know this is a little side thing with Berserk too, but Final Fantasy 14, the fans, as Donnie had brought up, there was like this huge line of people in the game that just were paying respect to Kentaro Miura's, as a whole by having them all in just a stance similar to the design of Berserk, I believe. It was truly a very passionate moment by the fans. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up there for that. Now, let me talk a little bit about some other news real quick. So how many of you guys like the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise?
It's okay.
All right.
Literally a huge chunk of my channel is me playing like a bunch of Sonic games. It's alright.
Hey, I got good news for
Gotta
you.
have the one guy, because we gotta have the one guy that was at the 2016, the 25th anniversary during Sonic Heroes, and he hit like freaking like 5 notes at once. Like that shit.
I remember. Isn't that the one with that screeching like beep noise as well that was in the background that nobody could take
Yeah,
out?
it's in Flying Battery Zone.
Yeah. Now, okay, the reason why I brought up Sonic the Hedgehog is because we are now entering E3 territory real soon. We are less than a month away from E3.
Yeah.
And with that, of course, rumors, speculations, and discussions are at an absolute high. So I'm going to say right now in advance, next week, I want to say will be a focus on E3 predictions. We're going to talk a little bit about certain things we personally want to see from E3 as a whole, because E3 is indeed coming this year. Not in the way that we've seen it before. It's mainly, I think, going to be a digital kind of event. So let's see how things play out for that. Now, with that being said, why did I bring up Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, similar to what Mario had went through, it seems that the past couple of months have been indicating that Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be getting a Sonic collection of his own that are going to be coming out to consoles later this year to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Blue Blur. And this collection is supposedly going to even contain one of the hardest games to get in this timeline, that being of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it will also probably include the adventures as well. I'm not sure to what extent they're going to go with this collection. Maybe it'll just be the original 3 games and Knuckles, or maybe it'll include those plus some of the adventure games. I honestly would love if they could include Heroes, because honestly, there's no way to get Heroes now.
The thing is though, if you want to release Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that means they need to negotiate with Michael Jackson's estate for that.
Exactly why KG said that. The Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the hardest game to port because of that.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's
So
literally they've made multiple copies of Sonic's 1 and 2, but they can't do 3K because of Michael Jackson. Well, not because of him, but obviously, the legal shit behind it.
yes. Alongside this, though, there was discussion not too long ago of a rumored Sonic Colors remaster that was also going to be coming too. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but if you like Sonic Colors, then there you go, buddy.
It just pretty much means you'll be playing Sonic Colors again, but on modern consoles because,
and hopefully 60 FPS because that was only 30.
Yeah, it was only 30, so hopefully that's what that means because, Sonic Colors, I like Sonic Colors as a game. It's a really good game to me, but there's not really much they can do to it other than probably, I would debate if they add some stuff, it would be like cool DLC stuff, like make Tails and Knuckles finally playable in a damn Sonic game, but they're not gonna do that, so it's whatever. Because they, for some reason, I want to say after 06, Tails and Knuckles have been completely absent as playable characters for reasons we'll just never understand. And I'm not counting Sonic Mania. I'm counting all the 3D Sonic games.
Didn't Tails turn into a coward in Forces?
Yeah. Oh, that's completely if you play Sonic Adventure 1 and then play Sonic Forces, you're pissed. You're immediately pissed.
Sonic horses.
It's funny because in that game you could play as Tails and he's clearly a badass in every way, shape, and form. And then you jump into this and what happened?
He's playing Sonic Forces and he's afraid of Chaos Zero, and I'm like, bro, you fought Chaos 4 in Sonic Unleashed in Sonic Adventure 1. What the fuck's your problem?
I don't know if this is true, but the Sonic Colors Ultimate might have the Colors DS content. Really? If that's the case, that's going to be interesting then.
It's going to be hard for them to probably to implement that, because I think the Colors version was made by Dimps, the ones who made the Sonic Rush games.
Mm-hmm.
So, you would have to put two completely different styles in there, and I don't think it would work.
Yeah, and that one's pure 2D.
Yeah, that's just 2D.
Yeah, so we'll see how things shape up for Sonic.
Yeah.
Still, though, it's still early in the game to tell.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, honestly, I kind of wish they would have a new original game rather than backtrack on old games. But that's how I always feel. I promote new ideas before rehashing old ones. Honestly.
By the way, speaking of old games or remasters and everything, if you haven't gotten it already, Panzer Dragoon Remake on the eShop is now $6.50.
Yeah.
So I just actually purchased that today. So that's going to be something I'm probably going to be playing soon.
Oh yeah, speaking of games as well, there was this weird game I saw as being added on, what was it, YouTube? It was something called Action Goose. So if you wanted more Goose action, yes, it's officially confirmed that we're getting another Goose game.
See, now, KG, this is bullshit.
Why is that?
Because how come you get a fucking continuation to the
always
Goose
gets everything.
franchise? Yeah. Meanwhile, we got to play. I like how KG's like Sonic's got old games coming out. Meanwhile, the Goose franchise is expanding.
It's your fault.
Okay, here we go. I got the information on this. It's called Mighty Goose. It's coming out on June 5th of this year.
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I know. You guys need to see the trailer for this. It is incredible, man. If you love what's a good game to represent it? Contra, maybe? I want to say maybe something like Contra because it's pixelated action kind of Goose game. Let me see if I could give you guys the trailer here on the chat. Go look up Mighty Goose. It really is incredible, man.
Yeah, Nintendo Man 64 wants the horse go. Yes, Uma Musume Pretty Derby. We need that shit. And also, we need KG to do that so that he can spend $500 like Shogotan did on it.
It's like a goose. It's like Metal Slug. It's like a goose inside of a mecha.
Here we go. I posted it here. It's the
Let me
release
have
date
a
trailer, and it gives you an idea of what you're gonna
let me
get.
have a look here.
So if you see a Goose Game riding what looks to be what is that Sonic enemy from Motobug? Yeah, Motobug. And then just riding those big things from Mega Man X and just this cool action pixelated adventure. Honestly, you'll get a good kick out of it. It looks like a lot of fun. I honestly want to play this game
Yeah,
just for the
yeah,
fact that it's
yeah,
a Goose Game.
Yeah, it looks like Metal Slug. Definitely
it's a
does.
Metal Slug.
Yeah, because the vehicles definitely do have that kind of Metal Slug action where it's like
Yeah,
so.
and over the top like giant mecha cannon guns and shit.
There's even a Metal
if you look
Slug
closely-
6 reference, I think, or an homage.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, because I can tell automatically when I saw that jet, it was like all like loose and moving with like the movement. I knew automatically that it's freaking Metal Slug.
Yeah, this Metal Slug. Metal Goose.
Yeah, and they officially confirmed that we will indeed be running at a solid 60 frames per second on the Switch as well. So that's also going to be a nice thing. Personally, I might just get it on Steam, so I'll see how it goes. But honestly, Action or Mighty Goose looks like a lot of fun.
What's the damage on the cost?
Let's see. Doesn't tell me here.
Was it gonna be like $20 a game?
I'm checking right now. The release date is there, but it doesn't give me a price for it, sadly. Surprising. Hold on, let me go check a look real quick on how much it cost.
Yeah.
Mighty Goose, where is the pricing? Mighty Goose, give me your pricing, damn it.
Goosey.
And answer is it's still not telling me.
$40.
$40.
$40.
$20. So,
God damn it, it's not telling me.
well, check the Steam page.
It just tells me just wish for it or something like that.
For
Oh,
free. That would be funny though.
Yeah, you can just simply add it to the wish list, that's all.
Okay, I guess we won't know the price until maybe next week or something.
Yeah, basically when the game releases, I assume. That makes me sad, man. I wanted to know the price so I could have just given them money already at this point.
No, it looks like a good game.
It looks fun. It's an action Goose Game, man. What is there not to love about that? You are a pixelated goose going around in who knows where, shooting who knows what, and obliterating, well, I don't know, anything really pretty much in your path. It looks like a genuinely fun game. If you guys love like the Metal Slug series or maybe Contra to an extent, I guess as well, but mostly Metal Slug though, you will indeed love this game. At least I assume. And also, if it features a goose. I don't know if it's just me, but I think the era of goose is really rising ever since Untitled Goose Game came out. Like, really. Oh, like, honestly, they chose of all the animals in existence, a goose. There has to be some kind of, tie into Untitled.
Into the goose verse.
Well, that's because gooses can legitimately kill you.
Well, I mean, they have teeth, don't they?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
They can literally cause collateral damage.
Wait, you never knew they had teeth, John?
No, I just thought they had a bill.
No, they have hundreds of teeth inside them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You ever seen like those monsters whenever they open up their mouth and they have like dozens of teeth inside them that just goes all the way to the back?
You mean Goose?
Yeah, there you go. Yes, that is a perfect example, Tyrone. Thank you for telling me that.
No problem.
But yes, think of it like that. Think of it like a goose, and then you'll get an idea of how the goose actually is like.
I think I won't think about that, actually. It sounds terrifying.
No, I don't think I will.
So, wait, penguins have it?
Penguins! No,
Yeah,
don't
they
ruin
need it.
penguins like that.
Yeah, they need it because of the climate that they're in, so they need to like find a way to digest the fish that they eat.
That reminds me of this Polyworld art I found once with all these teeth coming
You
out.
always gotta fucking bring poly.
Well, you know what? It's not.
I always keep
Wait, how
thinking
would
that
Polyworld-
swirl is just a mouth, and then when it
How would
opens, it's
Polyworld
just
have
infinite
teeth?
mouths.
I love Polly's defense for that. You know what? It's nice.
Hold on, I'll find it at some point.
You know what? It's cute.
You know what? It's okay if you don't. That sounds really cursed.
It's all right if you don't.
If you're not asleep.
Nobody will be mad if you don't.
Nope, that's not it.
John's gonna be like, I didn't like any of that.
It's
No,
basically,
John will
Greed from
remember
Full
this.
Metal Alchemist.
Hey, you know what other Pokemon
I-
has teeth? Arcanine, and it looks natural. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, but see, that's a cop-out answer, man.
I don't want to imagine. There's certain Pokemon I don't want to imagine with teeth.
And speaking of Arcanine, that's right. He still hasn't appeared since the end of Diamond and Pearl, and it's been a very, very long
Baby
time.
did,
But
bro. Growlithe.
Growlithe was in the episode this week.
I like the shots of Growlithe in this episode. I don't know why.
And we even got like a little fantasy of Ash using a Growlithe, which I greatly appreciated. So that
And
was
Go
neat.
as well. Well, I should know he didn't have one.
Little puppy.
Yeah.
Tyrone made another appearance.
Yes.
That's right. Tyrone keeps making these cameo appearances.
Oh man, Ash a whole bitch for this one. Like, how the first Pokemon?
Wait, what?
Ash a whole bitch for this one. I ain't gonna blame the first Pokemon to steal electricity as they didn't. I.
Hey, I'm just surprised that he remembered that. I was like, okay, that's like subtle continuity where it's like he remembers what Dedenes do, you know?
Oh, you a whole bitch, bro.
Like I feel like any other time they just go digging through their Pokédex and be like, what Pokemon absorbs electric? Oh, it's Dedenne. Okay.
I thought they were gonna. Well, yeah, I guess they can't pick Joltik or anything. They have to pick like the mouse-esque Pokemon.
Yeah, and also
With
you have to
gears.
remember that, and also you got to remember that in Pokemon, the new Pokemon Snap, it then they just runs around the freaking laboratory all the fucking time.
Kind of wish they had went back to the Handy Make twins with Muscle and Minun and had them as suspects. That would have been funny.
We can't
Like
have
we just
continuity.
saw them.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't have
that's-
that, Tyrone. That happened 2 weeks ago. Kids might have been watching then.
I just think that would have been funny. Like, just like
We can't have the Puzzle and Minun arc in this show. Come on, man.
I just thought that would have been pretty cool. Like, oh, he suspect. Like, even if it had been like a short little, like, you know, those picture slideshows. Like, yeah, we investigated every electric mouse in the area, and they checked Bisky's Raichu. They checked the Handy Twins Plusle and Minun. Like, they went all over to check for electric mice that could have been the culprit. But that would require them to work. So, you know.
No, they could just, have no lines, slideshows. They've done this before.
I feel like Tyrone is on a roll here. Do we want to let Tyrone roll off our episode review?
Tyrol.
Oh my god, yes, that's the image, Paul.
That is.
I mean, I'm going to start off by being obvious. I didn't like the episode.
Hold on. You don't jump
I
to
wouldn't
conclusions. Yet.
I will say there's things I do like about the episode, but I'll get into that when we actually, start and
Okay,
spin
but
Pokeball.
before we continue, though, there has to be an obligatory thing we have to do right now. It's a very obvious joke. I think you'll already know what I'm going to get into.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, let's get into this for tonight. Someone is sussy in this house, and I need to figure out who the hell that is. And now we're going to get into our review for this week's episode of PM 2019. Let me play that button again real quick. There we go. Now then. All right.
I was in med bay.
I was doing the leaves with the pushing down thing.
Fuck is that, Polly?
Tyrone, I saw you in comms trashing on Pokemon Journeys again. What was that all about? That doesn't match up.
Well, listen. The only reason I was in comms trashing Pokemon Journeys was because, first of all, it's Pokemon Journeys.
All right,
Well,
so
you got me
I
there.
believe him.
Yeah.
Apples was in the cafeteria.
There's no cafeteria in this place.
All right, we're
Come
voting
out.
out Ion, even if he's not here.
All right,
Yes.
throw the nomad out.
Yeah, that makes sense. He said he didn't like Steak and Shake.
True.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
I love
He's been
Chinchou
ejected.
in this little tub, by the way. I just want to point that out. Chinchou in this little tub. It's so
Um,
cute.
Oh no.
There's just one thing about this episode I want to say before we start. That this whole entire time, speaking of the detective that's on the screen right now, he sounded so familiar to me. And I finally looked him up, and he plays Gran Torino in My Hero Academia, among other voices, but that's the one that I'm the most familiar with because he had a very like interesting, rough way of speaking. So yeah, that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice attention to detail. Also, Ion was rejected.
rejected.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who wants to start the review? Tyrone?
Okay. So,
Because I mean, you technically gave your answer already, so I guess it just
Yeah,
continued.
man was on a roll earlier. Let's let him go.
okay, so yeah, the episode obviously starts off with Ash and the others chilling, and then Officer Jenny shows up, and the detectives show up, and they need to gather all the electric Pokemon together. And freaking, I love Chin Chow in the little bucket. I don't know, something about that's very wholesome to me. And I like, he's just questioning all the Pokemon. It turns out Pikachu's the suspect. He gets locked up. The opening scene happens, and then after that, we see that they questioned all the other Pikachus apparently in town, and they all had alibis. And when Pikachu's put up for interrogation, rather than taking it seriously, he just eats all the damn food, which was kind of funny in and of itself. And then after that, we see that electricity still being stolen, so obviously Pikachu has an alibi, and that means that Pikachu has to work with the detective and the others in order to find the culprit. But I don't know how the hell are you gonna imagine that? What would that be? A Detective Pikachu? Right. Anyway, so we move forward, and outside of that, Ash and Go become cops, and they do a cop montage, which honestly, that should have just been the episode. That shit. Like, I liked that more, but it's only done for a while. And I also want to make another comment. Can we have different variant tails of Vulpixes? I like that idea.
That's good.
That's a nice idea. I like the idea that there's Vulpix with different shaped tails.
Yeah, the heart shape was cute.
Yeah, the heart-shaped one was cute. So I was like, can we have variant tail Vulpixes, please? I want this. The episode is bad to me, but it has nice little moments in it, if that makes any damn sense.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel actually.
Yeah, I'm a little of, but then once we move forward, we learn that Team Rocket was the one stealing electric the whole time, woe and behold. But it wasn't what I thought. It wasn't Morpeko stealing electricity. Morpeko was just stealing food in people's houses while they were stealing electricity, because they thought Morpeko eats electricity like every other electric Pokemon, with the exception of, like, what, Pikachu? So because of that, they end up throwing the electricity away. They say, fuck it. But when they say fuck it, Pikachu ends up killing them by being super powered. And then after that, the detective makes Pikachu an honorary member of the Vermilion City detective gang. But again, the concept of a detective Pikachu is silly. So I don't know who would think of that. That's weird. So after that, the episode pretty much ends there.
Well, also the fact that the Rockets were getting arrested and then they got blown away, like blasted off but before they got arrested.
Yeah, that always happens. That's why
I mean, this is like the first time they've been wanted since Kanto, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
I think it happened again in Diamond and Pearl, but I can't remember.
Polly, would you know this?
I should know this.
That's why I asked you.
I know, but I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Officer Jenny, there was an Diamond and Pearl where there was an Officer Jenny that was so badass, and she was killing literally everybody with a fucking spinner rack or some shit. Like, it was crazy.
I mean, Butch and Cassidy got arrested a bunch of times.
Oh no, it wasn't a spinner rack. It was a damn. I think she had a Chatot.
Yeah, it was a Chatot. Yeah, I think it was a Battle Frontier episode actually. But
yeah, that might have been a Battle Frontier episode, not a Diamond and Pearl one.
No, that was Diamond and Pearl. I think the Chatot
was it Diamond and Pearl?
Was in Battle Frontier when the girl who was sick at the that hospital.
Okay, so I was thinking of Diamond and Pearl originally. Well, Battle Frontier had this weird habit of seeping Sinnoh Pokemon in on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you're thinking of is the girl that had it, as opposed to Jenny.
Officer Jenny was like killing people with bowling balls and Chatot and shit.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, one of my also favorite moment, this episode felt very OG. Does that make any damn sense?
No way.
It felt like a very OG styled episode. From the very moment of like, I like when Pikachu has the handcuffs on him, and Pikachu can easily take them off because his hands are so small. He's like playing with them, and then Grookey starts taking them away, and Pikachu takes them back, and it's like this little back and forth tug of war happening in the background while everybody's talking.
It's because again it's something for the kids to look at while the dialogue is going on, which is what I've been saying for like the last few months.
I mean, well, yeah, but like this one to me was used well. The other ones have been used very piss poorly. Like it's almost like when it's almost like in the Dark City or whatever that episode is, where Pikachu's like screwing with the bottle of ketchup for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where there's something happening, and the thing that's happening in the background is more interesting than the thing that's happening up front.
Yeah.
Officer Jenny obviously gets a lot to do in this particular episode, but I do miss her older designs, and I miss her Kanto design, and by that I mean her OG Kanto design, the one with the lipstick and the freaking like the damn near high heel black heels. And the mini skirt, and I like that Jenny better. But obviously that Jenny's thrown away in the we can't let kids see this form of her anymore.
Which is funny, because I think the last time we saw it was in Best Wishes.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, this Jenny's way too provocative, so we got to put her away. Like,
I don't like the Best Wishes Jenny, though.
No. I meant the Best Wishes Jenny had, in, I think, the opening, the final opening of Best Wishes, they had the Kanto design of Jenny.
Yeah, they had her old one. Because I remember Best Wishes Jenny in the Unova region, they ended up having the brown mini
short
skirt
hair.
with the short hair.
Yeah, that was a bizarre Jenny
I didn't
design.
like that. I didn't like any of that.
Yeah.
I will say I'm a fan of this Jenny design, though. Honestly, this one's more... it doesn't beat Sun and Moon's, but it definitely is up there.
None of them
I
will
like
be OG Jenny. I'm sorry, OG Jenny's the GOAT.
I do like.
She
Yeah.
can step on my
Actually,
neck. What?
I was gonna say there was an artist that drew Jenny who arrested 2 Dedenes, 1 in each handcuff. Let me see if I could find you that, because I saw that and I was thinking of you all like immediately. I was like, you arrested Dedenes. Let me see if I.
Find that.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Here, I'll send it to you right now, Teron. I'll post it in backstage. Take a look.
While that's happening, I guess I'll discuss more things. The detective in and of himself, I like his little gimmick or his little gag, or it's like, it's a detective's intuition. I'm never wrong. Weren't you just wrong? I'm never wrong. Like I like that joke. I love that he's in complete denial.
Yeah, and I love how Go's the one that pretty much is the only person who sees.
Go actually plays his role as a detective pretty well, and I like when Go actually uses his brain to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
For certain situations like this. And Ash just sort of is there. But it is, it is fun to see. But this episode hasn't done anything that other episodes haven't done already. This is just an excuse to get Ash and Go in some cop outfits.
Yeah, it's fan service.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, again.
It's just like when Ash was in a Nurse Joy's outfit, I think, at one point.
Well,
Which begs the question, why do they have outfits for kids?
Because child labor is not frowned upon in Kanto, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
They said they had spares. I heard that in that episode. I was like, yeah, spare. Wait, what? And I thought it would be like big costume. No,
because some people are short.
those things fit very well for 10-year-old kids, though, man.
I think this probably brings out the really jarring question of what other cops work, because Pokemon has taught us all along that, with the exception of very few cops, Officer Jenny's mostly the law in this entirety of like the series. And even Ash states being Officer Jenny's hard as fuck. I mean, he doesn't say those exact words, but like
They said it in their heads.
Yeah, after they do all of their police work, they realize that like Officer Jenny has it tough, but that's because she's the only fucking law enforcement in the world of Pokemon. With the exception of some like you're either Officer Jenny or you're an incompetent cop. Like that's what you are.
There's like one Jenny per city.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. It's so weird to point this out, because it's just we finally get to enter Officer Jenny's world a little bit more. We never really got to dive into the like what it's like to be a police officer in the world of Pokemon. Because Nurse Joy's the only one I think that's gotten any real depth in terms of like what it takes to be a Joy. But what it takes to be a Ginny is never really tackled upon unless we watch this episode. There's never a Police Academy Pokemon episode, is what I'm saying.
Well,
There was a Police Academy episode in OS, I believe, wasn't there?
Oh, the canine. I mean,
The canine
because
one.
of course, you only know that because the Growlithe.
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and
Well, yeah, but even that is
Yeah.
mostly centered around Growlithe. Like
Yeah,
that whole,
but then if they're gonna do it right, they need to have somebody that will like imitate Michael Winslow.
Actually, I
Yeah.
remember that episode because Brock took the voice recorder from Team Rocket and like started talking in Jenny's voice, saying that she liked him, and so
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so they're
that's
mentioning that
fine.
Chronicles had an episode, but that you gotta really like go out of your way for that. If you have to go out of your way,
wow,
yeah, if you go into Chronicles, like,
yeah, that means you gotta go out of your way.
Come
no,
on.
I'm talking about in the main series. I'm talking about we're in Ash's adventure. Chronicles requires you to step out.
but that's the beauty of it.
Like
you
they
gotta
never,
be dedicated. You gotta be
like
dedicated.
there was never a moment where Chronicles showed up as consistently as the main series. I think Chronicles had its own weird time slot when it was airing.
Yeah.
No.
Thank
no,
you, Goggles.
Nope, because it was actually part of Pokemon Sunday. Actually, no, it was Pokemon Hosokaku, and that they had like research episodes, and then the
What about in America? If you're an American watcher.
Yeah. It was like a Saturday night thing, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and the main series was still happening. So obviously in America, that had way more ratings than Chronicles did.
Yeah, you know what the problem was? That series ended up happening like 2 years into AG, as opposed to where in the US it happened it happened like the last year of AG into Diamond and Pearl, which is like completely off kilter.
But if you
Compared,
had, yeah, I mean, and like look at it from a general audience's perspective. If you had the choice to watch Ash's Adventures or the other people that aren't Ash's Adventure, which would you watch? I mean, obviously, TSS, you would probably pick the former, but your general audience would pick the latter.
Well, I mean, if you watch the Chronicles in order actually, if you watch the Chronicles and AG in order, because there's a certain order that they're actually in. I've seen it on Cerebi.
Mhm.
They make references like Tracy's like, oh yeah, I think Ash just caught a Tailo, or I think Delia's like, oh, Ash just caught a Tailo, or I wish he would catch a Zigzagoon. Like they make references.
Yeah, and they do. And like I said, the above average fan is gonna be the one to go the extra mile for that. I'm talking about the average audience.
Yeah, the average Joe.
Yeah, I didn't even know about Chronicles until like 3 weeks after it had already been airing, and then I had to go back and watch the episodes I missed.
Hmm. Sounds like somebody needs to make a video on that.
What, I'm talking about Chronicles? Oh God! First of all,
Yeah.
I gotta watch all of Chronicles over again because I barely remember. It's almost like a fever dream to me.
Yeah, not that I have a
Wasn't there an episode? Wasn't there an episode with Team Rocket in it where they got into like the academy or some shit?
Yes,
Yeah,
training days.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch.
I
that
think
episode.
I think the best one was the Team Righteous episode.
Yes.
Where
Oh, yeah.
I think that was actually directly after the one where Ash catches Taylor. Like they get blasted off and
Yeah.
they just land in the middle of the field. It's like directly
Yeah.
after that episode happens.
And then they see them walking.
I just remember when James said, "I haven't been holed since I've been with my mama." Oh
Yes, I've watched that many times.
my God, it's so stupid.
I love
But
it.
I like it when they do that, though.
Yeah, but back to the episode, like it's harmless, but at the same time, it's very unnecessary. But it's a very OG style level of filler, so I'm gonna give it about a 4. It exists.
Okay.
All right, why don't we pass this one to you then, Polly? What did you think of the episode?
Hold on, I'm just replying.
You're just watching the episode now, is that
I'm
what
replying a great one to Geller Adventurer, who said my favorite is still Brock's side story special 4K.
I mean, obviously, once we review this, the real thing what we're gonna talk about is coming, so we're probably gonna be quick.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, like everything Tyrone said is pretty much how I feel. Like I don't want to say bad episode, it was just kind of like episode, but with funny moments sprinkled throughout. Like I genuinely laughed a few times. I actually this scene right now, I love that. It reminded me of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where they're singing the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And they're all lined up against the thing.
The chat when we did the reaction that night, that was the first thing a lot of us said during that time.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the show, but it came from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes, I think so.
Oh my god.
And I liked just the little things, like especially Grookey in this episode was funny. How was when Pikachu's in the room with the detective, Grookey's like salivating over the bowl of food that the detective gave to Pikachu.
But that scene happens after Pikachu's already ate the food, so I'm like, what are you salivating over? What Pikachu ate?
Yeah. And then I also like the little fantasy sequence when Ash and Go are thinking about like, oh, like we're gonna be like Officer Jenny. I don't know. It's like because sometimes I feel like you don't really get into their heads too much, so that was kind of funny. And then also I loved it was so cute when Grookey and Pikachu were fighting over the handcuffs. In the background.
Reeling back on that, I do like Go's idea of like what it's like to be Jenny because it feels like a Detective Conan reference slightly.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have like it seemed a little bit long, to be honest. I didn't think the whole Team Rocket part was necessary, but again, I guess they haven't shown up in a while, so thrown them in. But it didn't really need them, to be honest. What were you gonna say, Taryn?
Oh, so I was good, and I'm probably sure you could probably vouch for me because you're the biggest Team Rocket fan out of us. I like the predicament Team Rocket's in because technically they're in the wrong, but they're in the wrong due to fucked up circumstances. They're in the wrong because Morpeko's eating all their food. So they're doing this to basically satisfy themselves. They're doing a crime in an effort to save their own lives. This is no longer a level of greed. This is we need to feed this thing or we are going to die. And it's a very hilarious situation when you think about it in tangent.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That was a good point.
Yeah.
And
they get more than what they bargained for because they're caught red-handed. But once they're caught red-handed, rather than try to get away with it, they legitimately give up. But they get their comeuppance when Pikachu ends up supercharged.
Yeah. I actually, speaking of which, I love the whole scene with Koharu's family and you want to use our house for this whole thing.
I love that.
They're like eating breakfast or lunch or whatever. And
like, it even did like the OG like do. But why are you using our house? Because you haven't had screen time yet. Fair enough.
Yeah, that funny music. I like when the Thunderbolt goes on the TV and then like you got the rock music blasting. Grookey's like hitting the bowl like as if like he's doing like a drum solo. Ash is like, "Oh, this is awesome!" That's so funny. Yeah, that's I said, average episode but funny. Yeah, the average episode but very funny moments. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's very OG style. Like you got a lot of OG humor in there.
Yeah. But
now if only Rocket were in their OGs in this episode, that would have been made better.
Yeah, that would have been actually pretty funny.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Alrighty, what about you, John? What'd you think of this episode?
Alright, so I guess I'll go on the opposite side of the humor thing. I thought this episode would be a lot funnier, just by the concept alone.
Wow.
Yes, there were funny moments, like the detective scene, but like that's been done before. Like I remember, I think that exact scene has been done in the Dratini band episode, and then again in Best Wishes with Silent and Scrafty, and it was like, okay, this is the third time they've done it, but I guess you had to have been around for a while to recognize that. So I was like, that's supposed to be like their big comedy scene, and I was like, oh, okay, I've seen this before, whatever.
No, well, to be fair, John, it's a trope in the Japanese anime.
Yeah, it is a trope. It is a trope. I know that much, but it's like it's their third time doing it, and I'm just kind of like, all right. I've seen it. Yeah, I guess it's just not as funny to me anymore. I don't know. Like the concept of the episode was so unique because I was like, oh, this is something I haven't really tried before. Like Pikachu getting arrested for a crime. I'm intrigued. But then just like a lot of the elements of the episode felt like samey or familiar, like that particular scene. I did think that the funniest part was the Koharu bit that Polly mentioned earlier. It was like, you're using our house for this? I liked that. But I thought the episode would be a little more funny. It got dry at certain points. Like, it kind of came in waves, I guess. I will say I liked that it was an Officer Jenny centric episode because it feels like we haven't had one of those in ages. Like the last time I remember like Officer Jenny being like super relevant in an episode was like the Maluminati from XY. Like it was a long time ago. So I was like, okay, Officer Jenny getting like she feels like a forgotten character almost in some of the newer series. Like they just don't do nearly as much with her as they used to. So it's like, okay, I appreciate some good Officer Jenny content. But on the other hand, right? That whole police montage thing felt so out of place to me. Like, it just seemed like that was like an entirely different episode that they put in this episode. Like, it went from like this being this detective mystery thing to being like, oh, we're gonna be cops for a day. And then it went back to the detective thing at the end.
I think why they did that, and I'm sure TSS can back me up on this, I think they had to do that because Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy are essentially like, they obviously have to represent a lot more than what they are as characters. They are, health and order. Like, they're policemen and nurses, respectively, officers and doctors. So they have to do their daily diligence to show children of young ages this is what police and doctors do.
Yeah. I feel like they could have made an entire like full episode out of that alone though, and not just like put it.
I disagree with that.
It's one of the reasons why Joy and Jenny have random cameos and openings and shit in Pokemon. It's to show that while Pokemon exists, there's a world where doctors and authoritative figures do exist in order to take care of people. Like, it's a wholesome place.
Yeah, because, like, we've had full episodes with, like, Nurse Joy type stuff before. Like, there was a Nurse Joy-centric episode in early Diamond and Pearl, I believe. And, like, I was kind of thinking something along the lines of that, but with Jenny. Because I was like, we haven't had, like, something like that in quite a long time. But it was nice just to see some Officer Jenny again. Like, I was like, okay, that's nice. Other thing, the Team Rocket bit, I again, like, they come along pretty late into this episode, and you're like, okay, do they need to be here? But I was honestly just glad to see them again, because I feel like this is I think it's their second longest absence streak, like, in the entire history of the anime. Like, definitely their longest streak in Journeys, because, like, they've been absent for, like, I don't know, at least 5 episodes, it seems like. So, pretty long time. Great to see them again. And I feel like they're maybe leading up to something with Morpeko. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. We have this upcoming episode where it's like, please catch Morpeko, right? And I feel like people are expecting that to be the episode where they catch Morpeko. I think the title is them begging Go to catch Morpeko because Morpeko is ruining their lives. So I hope that's what happens, but we'll have to see. I hope there's something being built up there in the background with Team Rocket and Morpeko, because I think that'd just be really funny and then it'd be worth it.
That sounds hilarious as hell.
Yeah, I love the idea. They would set it up too, like they set it up to where there's like a battle that can happen with it and everything. I love the idea that they want this thing to fucking go away.
Mm-hmm. So
like that in and of itself is because it's very obvious. Like Team Rocket's Pokemon are already like Choodle and Morpeko. Those are the main minds. If the Gacha machine were to blow up.
Mm-hmm. So going back to like that though, and like things being set up, I agree with what Tyrone was saying before we like formally started the review, where he was like, hey, there are other electric Pokemon. They just said like, oh, we talked to the Pikachus and they had alibis. It was like, okay, why not bring back the Plusle and Mine duo? Why not bring back Beastkiss and her Raichu, right? And it's like, they could have done like, I feel like they could have filled that time that was taken up by the police montage. Again, I feel like that should have been like 2 separate things, but
you also have to remember that the Plusle and Mine thing happened because the Karage sisters were guest VAs, so that wouldn't have really.
No, they could have done it. They
realistically.
They don't have to speak. They could have just shown a picture.
And it could have just been like a cameo appearance.
Yeah, it could have just been a picture. Like it literally could have just been a picture. Like Like, it would have been the detective going, we asked other electric owners about their Pokemon. And then it would have showed a picture of him pointing at Plusle and Minun. Minun's got his arms crossed because he's an asshole. And Plusle's just scared because he doesn't understand the situation.
Yeah. So
then again, though, I'm feeling once again that these episodes are written like because that's probably in the same block, and they probably didn't want to do the same thing. That's probably the reason why.
Yeah.
So I guess
mean,
overall,
the only reason I made that joke was because, like, you've established a world within Journeys where you have your own original characters. Use them. Stop relying on other characters from other shows and shit.
I agree with that, but it's like, was this the worst episode ever? No.
No,
Would I go out
dirty.
we have plenty other ones, but at the same time, would I ever go out of my way to like rewatch this?
No.
Also, no.
No.
I'm giving it like a middle of the road 5. Like I was entertained, but not like entertained enough. I was just kind of like, this is fine. So that's it for me.
Alrighty, TSS, take it away, buddy. And then after that, my turn.
Okay, so this episode was actually better than I expected. So first of all, I did like all of the trophy references. I did like the fact that they did the whole detective uses like a bowl of gyudon, and in this case, a bowl of Pokemon food to entice Pikachu to interrogate. First of all, seeing Raichu again, nice, thank you. Thank you, Goes Raichu, for just being there. Honestly, the main plot itself, first of all, the detective, I do like the gravelly voice. It kind of reminds me of like freaking Freddie Mercury or Elton John with nodules. I like that little nod there. But also, it's like the interrogation part was funny. The interaction between Grookey and Pikachu were funny. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's any moments in there that I can get the bus uppercut guy to do a video thing, sound clip for that, because I wanted to do that. You going to jail now? You going to jail? I wanted that scene where maybe Pikachu would like throw the cuffs or something and hit the detective or something. Then that would be a great thing. No, the Koharu thing, they go and freaking Pikachu like freaking shocks the shit out of the cable, the coaxial lines, and it goes into the freaking satellite dish to radiate the electricity. That was really funny. I really enjoyed that one. The rockets looking like they have been in the Mojave Desert for like fucking 5 weeks. That was really funny as well. I really enjoyed that. The police montage where Satoshi and Go were dressed up as the cops, and then you have them imagining things. You see, that's great because that's what kids do. They imagine, they pretend, right? But this time they're actually doing something that an average like kid would pretend, right? You ever seen the There Goes a series, like There Goes a Train, There Goes a Police Car? That's the thing. It's the visions of a child imagination, and I did really appreciate that because it's something different. We don't really see that often in the Pokemon anime. Like I said, seeing police officers rather other than Jenny, that was great as well. I did appreciate that. It was just kind of funny that like I said with the rockets, they were trying to catch them because you're wanted, and but the real funny thing was the the kind of like the sketch image where it's like you see the Pikachu and then you see the freaking obviously that's Morpeko, but then you see like the flash of light, like some people like saw them in the headlights or whatever. I did like the artistic style of that scene. Just like I said, like these little motifs. They know how to do story building. They're getting better. The writers are getting better at freaking building a story within an episode. And I've been saying this for like the last 3 months, and I keep saying the same thing every week because they have the ability to tell a story in an episode, and they're getting better at it. Thank God. But aside from that, the Rockets were great. The Rockets were great in this episode. Like I said, unorthodox. Try to feed Morpeko with the electricity. And it's like, oh, it doesn't give a fuck about the electricity. So, shit, we got all this electricity. Okay, we're gonna shoot at the Pikachu. Get the fuck away.
Like
And in the end,
Pokedex was like, duh, you didn't even ask.
well, yeah. Well, then again, though, Ikue Otani once again freaking putting down the Rockets. That's the best shit in this show, hands down. That's the best shit. Just Pikachu. Just imagine, like I've been saying, like for the last couple of years now, Pikachu patronizing the Rockets is one of the best things to happen in this goddamn meta series because it's kind of it's the perfect like collab. It's like a dream, right? It's like you try to get Pikachu for like fucking 20 something years, and finally you have a device that has Pikachu's voice actress, and just freaking goes and like, there, fuck you. You've been trying to catch me for years. That's what you get. But overall, like I said, better than I expected. I give this a 7.6. Next.
Alrighty, buddy. Now, here's my review on this episode. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. This was a stupid episode.
Yeah,
But I loved it. I loved how stupid this episode was. I requested when this episode was gonna come out in our last podcast that if you're gonna do a whole cops episode, just go stupid for me. Just go full balls to the wall stupid for me with this one. I don't care about logic. I don't care about any of that. Just be dumb and have fun with it. And honestly, they did. I think they had a good time with this episode. Was it the best thing ever? No, but I had a good time regardless. I laughed my ass off in a couple of scenes, particularly when I saw that black line there you see in the background there where all the Pokemon are huddled up, and Polly brought up about the whole Backstreet Boys thing. That was like one of the first things I thought about as well, and I just had in my vision like this whole Backstreet Boys singing thing going down, and it just made me love that scene even more. But I think what was so weird was all the little references in the background, though. Okay,
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just wanted to quickly comment. Thank you, Elite Trainer Mark, for those kind comments. Because that.
All right. Well, to explain, here's my first thing. The Psyduck representation. Let's talk about that real quick. Look at the background. Has anybody paid to the background in this week's episode? Because that is the shit that's going on in this episode, and I love it so much. There's a George Washington, I think.
Psyduck weirdly like very present in this episode.
There's another scene as well where Psyduck was just busy chilling in the police station, taking a drink with his like little cup. For no reason. He was just sort of there. No explanation, just taking his drink over in the side. There was an influx of Psyduck in this episode. But I this is the thing that got me the most. It was this stupid Psyduck Washington, I think it is, that I love the most. But it just goes nuts because it's like the Pokemon in this world are pretty mean. Why is there a Snorlax in the middle of the intersection in the highway as well? Why is it always that same Snorlax every single time How does Go not catch this Pokemon yet is what I want to know. It's still just randomly always showing up in the most inconvenient of times. And I just love that consistency of the Snorlax just popping up when we least expect it. Because if you recall, Snorlax did appear before in the past in the Gulpin episode. Same area. That's where the Snorlax was at before he got his ass sucked up by the Gulpin and got his ass dragged somewhere else. So
it actually is in Vermilion City in the games, at least in Gen 2.
And also, don't forget, he showed up as well in episode 2 of Journeys as well during the Lugia episode. So, yeah, this Snorlax has been showing up all over the place, but I just love how they keep using him as the same gag of just, he's always blocking the goddamn path every single goddamn time. But the other thing I also wanted to bring up was the granny and the purr ugly. I don't know why that shit had me laughing, because I understood the granny. Who thought it was okay for a kid to just hold the fat cat and drag it across the street? Why does that fat cat need to be dragged by Ash?
It's a tribute to priority seating.
I just loved it so much because you see the granny's very happy about it, and then this fat cat's just over here just like having this pissed off face at Ash for dragging him all the way to the other side. Yeah, Ash is gonna break his back because of this. Also, Officer Jenny holding off the vehicles as well for that. I really like the stupidity that went down in this episode. It made no sense.
Yeah, that's right. The Dodrio teens were like freaking like going like 50 miles an hour down the freaking street and they get a ticket.
And it's implied. It's implied in this episode. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying this is sort of adds what I said before. The episode should have just been this. Them as cops.
Yes, because this was so good. And this is where I'm going to get into my cons real quick. But I loved how it was implied that Ash and Go ran as fast as a Dodrio to catch up to the Pokemon and put it on a halt, because who were the ones holding the Dodrio down? It was Ash and Go. So they went Mach speed, which we didn't see on screen, to catch up to the Dodrio and slow its ass down. I love shit like that, when it just implies things going down. But the Tangela stuff as well is also pretty hilarious to me, in my opinion, as well. I don't know why, just seeing two weird noodly things just get itself wrapped up was kind of funny. But what was the other scene? There was another scene I forgot at the top of my head. The Vulpix scene, there we go. I don't know why, but that heart-shaped Vulpix, you guys brought it up before with the design. I just love that too. It's really cute, just seeing variations.
Tails variants now.
Yes,
they did it with Eevee.
They should have done it with Magikarp and Magikarp Jump, man. It's literally right there in paper.
You're asking Game Freak to actually do work.
That makes me sad that we have to say
Every
that. But
Spinda
you're
has
right.
a different spot.
and the broken heart.
Yeah, every Spindas have different spots in the game.
Yeah, but then again, modern Game Freak design. You gotta have them do work.
Yeah. Also, let me see.
This
What?
episode also reminds me of, and the reason why I keep getting OG vibes. Remember that episode where Pikachu was taken to a real doctor instead of a fucking Nurse Joy? And they had to, the real doctor had to work because the Nurse Joy was running full at her Pokemon Center. So they had to take care of all these Pokemon. They all had to be nurses for a day. It was like that. It was a lot like that.
Oh, Kuroblitz actually brought up a good point on the chat as well here. He brought up this tweet of his. He says, several Pokedex entries stated how Vulpix was born simply with one white tail with tail splits into 6. JN67 did that by showing it to an extent with the heart-shaped tail there. So I guess that's too, in a way, to kind of show off a little bit of the variations of the Vulpix design. Maybe it's not fully grown yet.
Look at an episode with fucking Jesse comes up with Arbok because it's in a knot. And then the doctor ends up giving it something to knock it out so he can relax his muscles. And she goes, I told you to cure it, not kill it. I don't know why that's funny to me.
Dr. Proctor.
Dr. Proctor.
Yeah, he ends up
Classic.
he ends up hitting himself with a needle aesthetic, and he's like, "That's not good." Just looking.
Oh, I'm just gonna lie down for a few minutes, folks.
Nurse Joy, why don't we go out for pizza?
Somebody said the episode with the creepy Chansey smile. Is that also it?
He's like such a shitty doctor, but I love it.
Now, here's my cons for this episode, getting back to it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how many of you guys hate this insert song? Because, okay,
it's been used a lot.
Listen, no, I don't hate the song. My thing, the mixing is horrible in this.
You can barely hear them.
Yeah, it was very bad.
That shit was rough. I was like, what? I
Even
can't
worse
hear
than the
you.
Water episode.
Yeah, this also happened before. I forgot what was the episode, actually. Trying to remember off the top of my head, but this also happened beforehand where they had a loud opening but very quiet talking.
You're probably thinking of the episode with the Vaporeon.
Yes, that might be it.
Yeah, because the biggest problem here is that Masafumi Mima does not have the multi-tracks 2, 1, 2, 3, so that's probably why it's a problem.
Yeah. But if that's the case, then don't use it. I think any other song could have just easily been better off with representing that scene, honestly.
But the problem is they have to do the customary thing, and you have to plug the damn music so people buy the fucking music.
But if the music's in the opening, does that really make sense? Because you're doing it twice?
If they do an insert song of 1, 2, 3, they're gonna do an insert song of Shitty Tori, and then people can be like, "Oh no!"
To be fair, they already did.
Yeah, so I was not a big fan of the insert song. Honestly, that was probably the weakest
I
thing
think we
about
just
that.
need something that isn't 1, 2, 3. Like, I don't know. It's kind of overstayed its welcome at this point.
And also, see, I view this specific version more of Koharu's theme. I guess maybe.
Yeah,
it's a
Koharu's
higher
barely in
pitch.
the episode, so it's
Yeah.
like, it fit in the Vaporeon one, but like here is like, could have wanted a different version at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have used the rock version. You could have
Yeah,
used the other.
I like the
Just used
second
instrumental.
Yeah, I
Well,
like
the thing is, they have to promote the current signal, so that's what it is. You think
Probably.
about how because you think this goes all the way back to the beginning, where they've pretty much had all these insert songs when they were new, like Battle Frontier and even PSM, even though that was a kind of a waste, but they still did it because they had to promote the single.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my big issue with this episode. But the second big one, honestly, Team Rocket was horrible in this one, man. I was not a big fan of them in this episode. I think they were the very weak ones in this one, which is sad to say because the last time they appeared, they weren't so great either, honestly. So it's just a back
I
to
even
back.
remember what they did last time.
Wasn't it the Tauros shit?
Oh shit! Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
When was their last appearance?
That.
That one I think is the
What
Plus
was the
11 Mayan
Tauros thing? I
episode.
must have missed that.
The Plus
What was
11
that?
Mayan.
They figured out that Ash and Go were being handymen for a day, so they decided to do a handyman thing too, so they could steal Pokemon or some shit. And then they fell in a hole. And then James drove a truck.
Yeah, and then the Tauros balls fell into the sewer.
That was episode
Suicune got his ass
61.
trapped in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That
some
was
bullshit.
so long ago.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it was some bullshit. Nobody cares.
Yeah, so those are my big cons. I didn't like Team Rocket. As Tyrone stated before, I think if they just had focused more on the comedy aspects and focused on the side of Jenny that she normally does on a regular basis, I think it would have made for a better episode personally, because the payoff to the whole Morpeko joke doesn't really work so well. The moment you already knew since the very beginning it's Morpeko. Even before this episode came out, y'all already knew it's Morpeko. So it's like there's no real mystery to it. It's just simply
obviously
getting to it, you know.
Yeah, people are gonna counter and say it wasn't Morpeko, it was Team Rocket. Yeah, but the reason Team Rocket's doing this is because of Morpeko. He's still the justification for all of this shit. So it's still Morpeko.
Yeah, so that's just my take, though. Did I like the episode? Yes. Why? Because it was pretty dumb a majority of the time, and I asked for it to be dumb, and I'm very happy they went dumb mode in this one. I wish they had gone a little bit further, maybe removed the Team Rocket segment and had put something else instead, personally, in my opinion. Of course, everybody has their personal preference to what they enjoy and dislike on an episode, but to me personally, I think if they just explored more of Jenny's side of the story, like it would have been a much more appealing aspect to not only the episode, but also to the character who we rarely get to see often in the series of Pokemon, in the current post-reboot era.
Who brought up the idea of Morpeko being caught by Go?
That was me.
That was him.
I want an episode where Morpeko gets caught by Go, and Go's Raichu, has that whole gimmick where it feeds berries to people. And he does that for Morpeko, but Morpeko gets more than what he bargains for when he eats more than he can handle in berries. Now Morpeko wants to get away from Ash and Go because he knows that if he sticks around, Raichu's going to keep feeding it excessively to the point where it releases itself. Now we have a situation where Go loses a Pokemon, not because he released it, or not because he decided to let it free. We got a Pokemon that literally can't afford to stay there because he's getting more than what he wants.
It kind of be like a reverse, like him stealing Grookey from Team Rocket. Like Morpeko goes back to Team Rocket.
Yeah.
And I'd like it like maybe if like Team Rocket was like, man, we kind of hated Morpeko while he's here, but now that he's gone, we kind of miss him.
Yeah, but Team Rocket gets what they want because Morpeko does come back, but obviously they end up getting their comeuppance because when Morpeko comes back, he follows his same pattern of eating them out of house and home. It's just that Morpeko can't stay with Go because if it stays with Go, then Raichu's gonna feed it to the point where it's way too full to sustain itself.
Well, even if like he catches Morpeko and then releases it, like, hey, it's in the Dex, it counts.
Well, yeah, and then Go gets his Pokedex entry.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you solved
I
that problem.
thought of that idea from jump.
Let me think. Yeah, well, first of all, we're still gonna get that Morpeko episode, so we'll see how things turn out for that first before we decide.
Hey, for all we know, Giovanni could show up in that episode and be like, hey, y'all need to catch something. Just because you got this gotcha, you can't get slack. I'd like that too. I think that'd be pretty neat idea for an episode, but we'll have to see how that shakes out.
Yep, another simply wait and find out. So, what do you guys say we jump into the most important part about this upcoming episode?
Your rating.
Oh, my rating, I thought I gave it. It was like a 6.5. No, nothing too spectacular. Once again, I liked it. I want to say I genuinely liked it. It's just the Team Rocket bit and the opening, honestly, kind of killed it for me, personally.
Okay, next.
Now then, let's take a second to talk about what's coming in the future. Because it's a very, very, very important thing, and honestly, is going to be one of the various deciding factors for fans. Honestly, especially for Terrell, I'm very excited to see his take on it because I don't know if you guys watched his video of the review he did for this one. He said that he wanted all of us to do a live reaction to the episode as well as a group this time around because it is Gary, Mother F and Oak. You kind of want to get the squad up for that one. It's a very important moment, I think. I thought it'd be kind of fun, so I brought it up here to your attention. We'll probably talk more about it behind the scenes, but let's see if we can make that happen though for Friday. Now, of course, let's take a second to talk about it then.
Except it can't be Friday because I'm doing freaking Tales of Symphonia, but maybe later.
We shall see then. But yeah, so episode that's coming up is going to be focusing on none other than Project Mew. Now, reason why I say Project Mew, because that might throw people off, is because this is supposedly the prelude, you could say, to Project Mew. So here's the summary for this episode, just to kind of clarify a little bit of what we're going to be anticipating for this upcoming one. It says right here that Satoshi and Go visit the Oak Laboratories in Pallet Town for the first time in quite a while. When did they visit beforehand? But there, Go learns from Professor Oak that Project Mew, a team that will be making a full-scale search for the Pokemon Mew, is recruiting members. Satoshi also learns that the Infernape that he had left in care at Oak's Labs hasn't shown itself recently, so he decides to go and look. Repeat that?
Joker, okay, thank you for the extended sub.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, buddy. And what was he saying? Oh, yeah, the Infernape had left, hasn't shown itself recently, so he decides to go and look for it together with Go. And, believe it or not, along the way, they encounter Satoshi's childhood friend and rival, Shigeru. Now, let's discuss. I think the first important thing we need to talk about is the thing everybody was requesting to see happen, and they did it in the preview for this upcoming episode. Satoshi-kun. For some reason, that was the thing. That was the thing for fans that have been waiting for so long to hear.
Satoshi-kun.
Okay, I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm very excited for this episode, but I'm also extremely, extremely concerned for this episode because they're throwing so much in this one.
It seems a little jam-packed, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're sharing too much with it.
Yeah. Now, at the same time, though, the reason why I'm not 100% so concerned of this is because of the fact that, we had an episode a while ago that was, to an extent, also thank you, Joker, for the cheers. Absolutely appreciate it, buddy. We had an episode like this before in the past that felt like it was going to be so much for one episode, but ultimately they did a very fantastic job, in my opinion. Which episode is that, you might ask? The Sun and Moon episode, with one of the biggest casts in Journeys appearing all in one episode. I feel like they managed to do a fantastic job for what we had in that one single episode. This time around, it's mainly Oak and the Pokemon, who I'm pretty confident don't really have much lines aside from the typical Pokemon cry noises, and then Gary, and then Infernape, of course. So there is not that many characters being present in this one, but there is a lot of nostalgia carrying this episode is the big issue here. And I'm very much curious to see how much of Gary is going to be present in this episode and how much of an influence he's going to have moving forward, because this can't be his only episode.
No,
It can't.
because it specifically says it goes a rival for Go. So yeah,
That in and of itself bugs me. Why
But I
is it?
thought,
It's got nothing to do with Go. Like,
I thought those are supposed to be the those randos from the.
Yeah, that's a prediction. A lot of people are saying that possibly the rivals that are happening or are being present are gonna be the people that are gonna get recruited. But the thing
Yeah.
is, though, I have little to no idea what the hell we're anticipating with this episode because anything can go really in this episode.
I think what's going to determine whether or not this episode feels overly stuffed or not is going to be the amount of Moltres that we get. Because I think back to the Sun and Moon episode that you mentioned earlier, or not the Sun and Moon episode, but the Alola episode in Journeys, and why that one worked. I think it's because they established their conflict with Kiawe and Go, and they wrapped it up rather fast, but rather satisfyingly. It didn't drag out for too long.
And it wasn't the main plot, too.
Yeah, and so here we have like this thing with Infernape and Moltres, or at least I'm assuming it's between Infernape and Moltres. Hopefully that is paced in a similar way where it doesn't take up too much time. It's like, okay, we have enough time for the lab and Gary and these new Mew people as well. I think there's a possibility they could get it all done, but they gotta be smart with time management, which they're getting better with. They are getting
very forgiving for the Sun and Moon episode. To me, I think the placement of the episode is very terrible.
Oh no, I'm not. Listen, I already
the
told you
placement
that
is bad. The
episode
placement
on
is
its
bad.
own is fine. I already told you that's one of my absolute worst episodes of Journeys as a whole. But it's an absolute amazing Sun and Moon
Sun and
episode.
Moon epilogue episode, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not worried as much about Gary, just because we've seen Gary so many times before, and each time has been like pretty decent. I'm actually more worried about Infernape because it's like we've barely touched DP canon in the past like
Best Wishes was
decade.
literally the last
As
time.
we saw him, he punched an Electrovire.
But yeah, besides Dawn's return, I mean, yeah, like I just hope they handle him well, and they don't dumb it down just because it's Journeys, and that sounds a little harsh. It's just like
They picked a really random Pokemon to come back. I'm gonna be honest.
No, they picked the perfect Pokemon. Buddy, we're in the Sinnoh era right now with the DP
Oh, that
remix.
bullshit. Yeah.
yeah.
In that context, it makes sense.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know, it doesn't feel organic. It feels like it screams, we're selling toys. We're
Hey,
selling.
if this opens the door for Ash to bring back more reserves, I'm all for it.
This is about as bad as when Dawn caught that fucking Cyndaquil. Like,
I just really, really hope we get some kind of continuity with Infernape because you can't introduce Infernape to Go without mentioning the story, or at least some part of the story. Like, oh, like it became mine after, like, I don't know if I'll mention Paul, but
Actually, that would actually be funny if we see like Shinji in a freaking like
Oh, and the Journeys art style. Oh my
If
god.
there's any kind of a Paul reference, I'll be very surprised. They might want to save that for later, but we'll see.
probably just gonna show Infernape beating the Electrovire, but Paul's not in the shot.
Oh my god, please let it
Yeah,
be.
I hope they do something funny between like Electivire and Infernape because like that's a very strong history right there.
Also, please do it. I want to see that punch that Electivire did to Infernape where it clearly like punched so hard into Infernape's face that you see it like as if it's like a super stretched out back on his face. I don't remember that one image.
In his back.
If Iwane is doing this episode, then maybe that might happen.
did he want to do the last Sinnoh League episode? I mean, the Ash and Paul, like the final episode.
Should be because that's the one that he said that he had to freaking make the damn. They had to make the damn the flame shooting off of his head in the freaking Photoshop.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a live stream of him saying that, so we got to
Yep.
see.
There's a lot
I mean,
writing down in this episode, man.
This definitely from the preview. This definitely feels like it's going to be an Iwane episode solo. So I think that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's only a matter of just finding out, which we don't have to wait too long for it. It's coming out in a couple of days. Now, want to know my biggest concern? Want to know the biggest concern I have for this episode?
Yeah.
Guess who's on the VA list? Go's Pokedex.
Okay.
What broke the internet the last time Ghost Pokedex was in the VA list?
When he caught Suicune.
There's a Moltres.
No.
Yeah.
It could happen, but like, will
No.
it mean anything? No.
No.
Ah, shit, here we go again.
Ah, shit.
Breaking
They-
internet.
They
Slowly over.
caught,
I
they
mean,
caught
like-
Suicune. It's like, what have they done with that since then?
I'm sorry. The whole reason Gary here feels very stupid to me. So it's hard for me to really like go, oh shit. Like he's here because apparently his focus is on Moltres now. Like that. Not even Galarian Moltres, just a random ass Kanto Moltres. And I'm like, you've seen Moltres at the Pokemon League. Like, what?
There has to be a reason, and maybe it'll tie into what's going to come later. But yeah, as it stands right now, nobody knows for certain.
And I get it. Gary wants to be Gary's a Pokemon researcher too. So logically, he should have a role technically in this series. Even though the last time we saw Gary, he was out in the Sinnoh region. I like the idea that Gary's going to different regions in order to help himself become a better researcher. So what causes him to come back to Kanto, I don't know. But he's here.
Well, actually, it was confirmed he's coming back from Sinnoh, so he's still been there.
Okay, so he's here and we got to deal with him. But at this point, the story is just sort of scrambling about going, here's Gary. Like,
Here's Johnny.
right, yeah, it just,
Sorry.
I don't know, like, the show feels like it has to bring him here mostly because y'all remember him, right? And I've already stated before, I would prefer that older, I would prefer original characters over older characters because Journey's built a world already with well-established characters. But bringing other characters back kind of shoots it in the foot because TSS stated that this series is supposed to be episodic. But you keep bringing characters back from a story that wasn't episodic, so now you have to follow a series in order to even know who the hell these guys are. So then when you watch the episodic series, you don't even know the episodes because none of the fucking episodes make any goddamn sense because they're bringing characters back from the non-episodes. How many times have I said episodes in that sentence?
Take a shot every time you said episodes, basically.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I like when fucking, what's his name? The damn Mighty Anna trainer. The Horiyama
Hoji?
/ Yeah, Hoji. I like when he was brought back.
I liked it too until he stayed behind and didn't.
Yeah, I did too. But like, it's very clear that that Journey's had its own world that it wants to build, but it steps back on it every time they need to build it. Like, say, I rarely mention OG a lot. Like, I very rarely mention OG, but OG at least had the decency to establish a world. Like, they did good with world building, whether it be referencing older characters or reoccurring characters like Duplica or some shit. They found a way to at least have a world that can technically exist without Ash being in it. This world feels like it has to, like, dip into the toes of nostalgia every time it runs into a corner.
Well, think about how old the series is and how much of a rich history it has, then it makes sense.
But the problem is that this very thing you stated weeks ago when we talked about this problem was it's meant for a new audience. Great! Then that means a new cast should be showing up.
Yeah, but the problem is that new cast doesn't make them the money. That's the problem.
And thus we lie the problem. Capitalism.
Shit. I always knew Ash was all into money.
As we used to do with the parody subs, like back like 10 plus years ago. Buy our toys. Thank you. Buy our toys anime.
Yeah, but like I said, that's just what lies the problem. You want to make an original series, but at the same time, you want to use older references to power your original series. You can't have both. You just can't, to me. Because what ends up happening is that you wind up using older characters, but you use them very briefly or not as effectively as they were used in their original series.
Well, then we have to stop eating Ortega. Next.
It's just like the Iris episode. Everybody praised that episode before it got here. Episode's over. I have heard no one talk about it. Like,
about
what? The Iris episode. No one's referenced it. I haven't seen it on Twitter anymore. It's gone.
Oh no, I still see it, but that's also because I followed the anti-poke scene a lot on social media.
Yeah,
So.
me too.
I'm scrolling up and down my Twitter. I don't see shit.
Actually, let me take a look at who you're following because I think that also dictates who's gonna also bring it up too.
I follow the same
they've
people
been
you
kind of
follow. What the fuck?
they've been very hit and miss with these returning characters so far, where it's like
Mostly
some of
miss,
them
though.
mostly miss,
Mostly
and
miss.
that's what I'm concerned about. Where it's like, they have this time frame, and it always feels like when they bring a character back, it's this big event, and they try to squish too much in, and it just feels underwhelming in the end. You're like, I feel like Iris was like the one exception where I was like, we got an adequate amount of Iris, and we learned what we needed to. So.
Even then, I still personally think they got her core character kind of weird. She wasn't supposed to be the champion. She was supposed to be the gym leader. The game, she's the champion because that's what her fucking toy looks like.
Yeah, it's relying on game context.
Yeah, but like the anime already made efforts to say she needs to be the gym leader. She has no connection with Alder. They barely spoke in Best Wishes. Well, I don't even think they got that right, personally, except for the whole her being a Dragon Masters thing. I think they nailed that shit.
Yeah, like I think the episodes are fine for the fan service, but as the episodes tie into the series, that's where it kind of weakens.
Yeah. And that's the only thing I'm just sort of fearing for Gary. He's coming back, but it's weird that he's coming back to me because I don't think the show's ready to bring him back, personally. I think Journeys needs to get their own shit together before they start thinking of bringing Gary back.
Yeah,
As long as it's better than the Mewtwo things, it's like Mewtwo
Oh,
coming back was
no.
like, I think
mean-
that's as bad as you can possibly handle it.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
think the
like,
other thing is that Ash's old Pokemon are supposed to be coming back in this episode. We didn't even talk about it, but his
Yeah.
old Pokemon are coming back. I'm like, his team he's got now isn't even fully established. Why in the fuck would you bring his old Pokemon back?
I'm willing to bet it's gonna be like a 20-second scene. They're just gonna be
And
like,
then we're gonna
here
run
it is. But
exactly, and then we're gonna run into episodes where we go, why doesn't Ash use his older Pokemon?
Weasel.
Also, just to clarify about the Pokemon, a lot of people were kind of concerned about what Pokemon were going to appear, and people were speculating that the only Pokemon were going to appear are the ones that are simply in the magazine scan. However, the preview kind of spoiled it by showing off Tauros's, and I don't mean just simply one, I mean many of them, like all 30 probably. Yeah, so, and they weren't in the magazine scan at all. So, there are more Pokemon that potentially might see later.
My favorite Tauros is the one Ash used in the Orange Islands. But
Which one is that? Number 6? Number 12?
That's Tauros number 22. Don't get it
Alright,
fucked.
I'm sorry.
So is Go gonna roll up to the lab and be like, Ash, can you spare a Tauros?
Spare Tauros? Spare Tauros?
Over my dead fucking body.
I want to fly by because otherwise it's going to be 0 out of 10.
Yeah, man. The Suba is gonna dictate whether this episode is episode of the year or not. But nah. So like, yeah, this episode has a lot going down for it. It has the Infernape, it has the Moltres, it has the Project Mew, it has the Gary, it has the references to the past. But we all gotta remember, though. We all gotta remember. At the end of the day, no matter what, this is Journeys we're talking about here. So we'll keep a head low or keep your hype at a low, because if the episode does knock it out of the park, it'll just make things 100 times better. And if it doesn't, then at least you already have been prepared for it. We always anticipate the best. Let's be clear with something. We always wish for the best, but it's always important to hype responsibly, though. That is always the most important thing about it.
Not like that. Hype response.
Yeah. Now,
Hope for the best, expect the worst.
Pokemon
I
Journeys.
expected nothing, and I still got disappointed.
Just don't expect Kingler. Yeah, now that's
Oh
asking for
god,
too much. Man.
Kingler, that man's never coming back.
Yeah, Kingler's gone, bro.
I thought he got killed off by the Electrode in Johto.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that like his last actual
Yeah, he's dead.
Good, because it beat Poliwhirl.
He's
in the
gone.
World Cup. Too bad.
Oh well. Can't always have nice things, can't we? So yeah, I think that is a perfect time for us to go and wrap things up. Unless I am missing something. If not, then please let me know. Or are you guys ready to go?
I can't wait to see Haludra for 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, I know, right? Listen, I just want a new high quality image of Suba in
Sam,
Journey's
like-
art style, and I know we're not gonna get it because it doesn't look like it, but god damn it, I really had wished to have seen the Dream Team scene where you see little Suba and big Suba there. I know it's not happening, but god damn it, would I have loved that.
I know I sound like a crazy person, but look at us. Look at us in the chat and look at us on Twitter. We're saying, ooh, I can't wait to see this Pokemon for like 5 seconds. We sound like a fucking drug addict that's been missing out on something. Like, what is this? Like,
We're not even going to talk
previous
about
series.
Tracy, by the way. Like, that man's been dead.
yeah.
Because
There
the
was
previous
never any
series-
hope.
Polly,
Nah,
what were you gonna say?
he's still stuck in the freaking Yomakai. That's what it is.
He's out
Hollywood.
taking the garbage.
Polly, what were you gonna say?
Because the previous series, multiple ones, made us fall in love with these characters, and that's why.
It's like at that point, you don't give a shit about journeys. You want your old series to be back. At that point, just watch that. Like at this, why are we torturing ourselves like this?
I tried watching it. It
well,
sucked the second time, man.
I'll give you an answer to that because some of us like to torture ourselves, and some people like the dark humor, and some people like the sarcasm,
And
some people like
seeing little PNG files fly off in the screen, man.
Some
God
people-
damn it.
some
Let
people like-
me enjoy my blue
like-
bird, damn it.
well, some people like the 200 by 120 pixel BRB text on the screen too. But anyway,
Now then, what do you guys say?
For me, and this is gonna be a weird hot take because Polly's gonna be amazingly surprised at me. Weirdly, I respect the way Diamond and Pearl did it with like for example with Cyndaquil. So Ash's Cyndaquil didn't really do much until like we finally brought it back, and it became relevant when it evolved into Quilava. He later uses that Quilava in the league, so it actually has relevance to why it's here. I mean, yes, it's mostly buy our fucking games, Heart Gold, Soul Silver edition, but at least it like was able to add something. These Pokemon are showing up because fuck it, like fuck it.
Yeah.
because there was no reference.
Yeah, they're literally here because it's like, hey, y'all, remember this shit? Like, that's it. That's the only reason, and I wish I could be more positive about it. I'm a very big fan of, like, if something's gonna come back, it needs to be relevant. It needs to do something. Not just show up for the sake of, ooh, look, you remember the past?
Yeah.
We're gonna take you back to the past, right?
I'm just excited for Weasel so much.
Repression, Bulbasaur won't evolve. Bulbasaur has shown that he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, it's been
Now,
fun.
Squirtle has had no objections to evolving. He just never did it.
No, because if he does, he'll never be a part of the Squirtle Squad no more.
Well, he can retire. I want an episode actually where he does do that so that we get Ash can have Bulbasaur as its first form, Wartortle as second, and Charizard as final, matching Go's Grookey at first, Drizzile at second, and Cinderace as final. And then they can have like a whole Kanto Galar battle thing.
Just imagine an episode where Squirtle starts evolving and then it's like all his little homies run over. No, Squirtle, if you evolve, you can't wear the shades anymore. And he starts like shrinking back down.
Billy presses B.
I do it for the shades.
Wait, if he evolves, won't his shades evolve too? Didn't Crocodile do that shit?
I do it for the fries.
Hashtag do it for the fries.
Do it for the fries.
So-
Like, put a picture of Squirtle with shades. Hashtag do it for the fries.
So Evo asks here, so KG, where did Suicune get beaten up this week? Here's the thing. Suicune got his ass arrested in this week's episode. Unfortunately, visiting hours weren't available at this time, so I couldn't exactly see him at this moment. But know that Suicune is probably behind bars for a little while. So just for some clarification's sake for why Suicune's not popping up in today's review. Sorry about that. Maybe next week we'll see him. But hopefully we don't have to worry too much because Moltres is going to be coming in. So Moltres will be taking over the spot for Suicune for the time being. I'm curious though how Moltres' episode is going to turn out though. But yeah, so what do you guys say? We go and wrap things up for the night. Why don't we?
Yeah, because I have to take my fucking clothes out of the dryer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, no, we don't want to keep you waiting, buddy. So, everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in for tonight's episode of the PokePod World Podcast. Once again, we are in session number 94. reaching the big 100 real soon, man. And it's going to be very, very exciting to see how things are going to shape up for that. And we hope you guys have been enjoying our journey so far in Journeys and just our podcast in general. We hope you guys have been enjoying. And yeah, everybody here in this call, Age of Trades, TSS, Tyrone, JPR, thank you guys so much for tuning in for tonight. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll tune in next week to see how we think of the episode as a whole. But before we continue any further and wrap things up truly for tonight, a couple of things to kind of clarify. Tomorrow, Tyrone, will you like to explain what's going to be happening for tomorrow? Because I know that's when we start streaming stuff. And I'm not certain 100% if you are ready for that again or still,
The grand finale of Mario Party 2. We finally can put this game to rest and all of its bullshit.
Will Tyrone get a W in this finale? Fingers crossed. You know what? Can we make that a 2-hour finale though for this one?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, sweet. I want to make it let's go balls to the wall with this one. It's gonna be Bowser's Baja Blast, so we got to make sure we have a good time with this one. So yeah, let's see what else is there, and then after that, Tyrone, what comes after this?
After that, we've got Pokemon Y Nuzlocke.
All right, so everything's gonna be happening over at the Tyrone the God 3 channel on Twitch for tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming the Mario Party stuff just only so I can have them recorded, so I can upload them onto the pod channel, and then have those eventually up for everybody to watch later. Because I like to archive those things. So yeah, there you go. For Wednesday, I'll talk with everybody about that. There's still some things going on. If you followed me on Twitter, you'll know that we've been busy constructing up this house real quick with paints and all that jazz. Kind of got things all tidied up, but we're going to finish everything during this week, and hopefully everything will be done by then. So even today, as I was mentioning earlier, guys, you might have heard like background noises every now and then when I was talking, but that's only because construction and building shit has been happening in the background. So we're still working on all that, but thankfully everything has been fine now. So what else am I missing on the top of my head? Well, Friday, of course, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in to my channel yet again for the Pokemon Journeys episode reaction. We're going to be reacting to the episode. TSS, though, I know you stream on that day in particular.
Yeah. It's going to be hopefully the finale of Tales of Symphonia. We're at the final dungeon, so hopefully Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with a better microphone, and also me not being 1,200 miles away. You can catch me then, TSS_killer on Twitch.
Yeah, somebody said no. It's no rip B2. It's mainly simply that it's technically Y's turn because I already did my B2 and it goes in order between the two channels. So it's only respectful that way. But yeah, thinking off the top of my head, I think that's pretty much it. Really, like for some of the big things we're going to be doing throughout this week. So we hope you guys stay tuned for more content here throughout the channel and throughout this week. And of course, yeah, I just hope everybody out here has a great day, or if about to have a day, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. So I'm going to go and wrap things up for tonight. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. My name is KJ Prestige, and we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, make sure to have yourselves an awesome day. And TSS, what is the golden rule?
You gotta wash your fucking hands, especially when you're away from home.
Indeed, buddy. Thank you for that message. All right, everybody.
Check out Professor Silver. He reviewed Brock's Krogunk. So you get to know the entire history of Brock's Krogunk.
Yeah, we need to have him on the show one time, man.
We do need to have him.
Yeah, you've been promoting the living hell out of him, and yeah, we haven't had a chance to... Well, I've spoken with him
a bit
on...
we talk about the Pokemon anime a lot, so I figure people want to know about the Pokemon in the anime.
Yeah. Well, we've only dabbled talking with him in the other servers, so... He's a cool guy, though. He's a cool guy. But
hopefully I'll get a chance. Okay.
All right. Until then, everybody. Night-night.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Waffle House.